Welcome back to Vegas Live with Ninon. Well, do I have a surprise for you? Number one, thank you, because we go live, so we can't sort of, if we make any mistakes, that's just too bad. I have a young lady next to me. I'm calling her a young lady because she's going to interrupt me all the time, so it doesn't really make any difference.
I'm young.
So she is a young lady, but she suddenly walked on because our friend is going to be interviewed all politely and all nice. But Lisa Tanner has her own way of doing things. I think everybody in town knows her, every executive, every producer, every big company. But she turned around and said to me, Ninon, I'm going to interview you. I said, me?
Yes.
So she started asking me some crazy question. She asked me, what sort of taco do I like? Or what sort of Mexican food?
Can I ask the question?
See what I mean? See what I mean? She wants to take over, and she wants me to cut. That's very hard to do.
We're in this wonderful restaurant.
Yeah,
Tacos and amigos, or amigos and tacos?
No, amigos and tacos.
That sounds good. So I want to know.
Yeah, it sounds very good.
I
Great
just came
food.
back last night, as you can tell, looking the way I do.
You went to bed like this, or you got up like this? What did you do?
Both. We came back from Cabo, where they're known for all great Mexican food.
I thought you were interviewing me, not talking about what you're doing.
But I'm just going to... Dina, if you don't be quiet, I can ask the question. Okay, no.
I'll zip it, believe me.
I want to know what kind of tacos you like.
I said that I like hard, only hard. I don't like this soft stuff. It drives me nuts. It's not cooked. It's doughy. It's like,
you can put it in a toaster and toast it, and it
too
comes
much
up.
trouble. If it doesn't arrive the way it's supposed to be, I don't want it. Anyway, and I like the taco with one taco, and it can be either beef or chicken.
No shrimp?
It could be shrimp as well.
How about
Wait, you have to go that way.
How about
that
mahi?
way? Yeah, that way.
That way. Over there. Thank you.
A customer. Can you imagine talking to a customer like that? The poor guy. He must wonder who on earth I am. Hello. Thank you.
Answer the questions.
I'm answering. I've got to take care of the customers. I mean, come on, they're important. What a bossy lady she is. Anyway, but I like beans. I do. Believe me. But you've met your challenge.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. But anyway,
Well,
I
respect
beans.
my elders, so go ahead, Nina.
Well, you know what they say, don't you? Dirt before the broom, right? I can do the same thing. Dirt before
Go
the
ahead.
broom. Oh, this could go on for hours. Anyway, I like beans with it and the rice. I love the Mexican rice with it. And that's all I want, because I don't eat that much.
You don't.
Now, what is this question
You have
for?
great legs. Because I just came back from Cabo and all I ate.
A woman is telling me I have great legs.
You do, Nina. I saw you walking. They're really good.
No, I do
They're
use
almost
them.
as nice as mine.
I use them actually for walking. She saw me walking.
I saw a woman take her leg off once and hit somebody, so I just want to make sure they are
Well,
yours.
that's still a leg.
Look good.
It's still a leg. When you take it off, don't take it off. It's still a leg.
It's got double use.
No,
You can
wait,
walk
but
and
hang on a second. So what do you want to ask me?
Nina,
Yes.
I really like this restaurant.
Isn't
I
it
think
lovely?
It's really lovely, yeah.
Isn't it beautiful?
And I haven't been with you since the darling days. So I want to
Now,
know
when we talk about darling, we're not talking about her and I. We're talking about a gay that lives in Los Angeles, okay?
Our friend
So let's
Brian
go.
Darling.
Yeah,
Hi, Brian Darling.
Yeah, Brian Darling. How is he?
He's married to
I
Aldo.
know, I met Aldo.
Oh, you did meet him?
No, I met Aldo.
They're lovely.
Yeah,
They're
they
very
are.
lovely.
They're happy, that's all that counts.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No,
you look
go ahead.
fabulous. And I hadn't seen you like in 5 years at least.
Well, no, we met 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago.
I
we
know,
had
but
lunch. God, what a
With
memory.
Jamie.
See?
Oh, okay, I'm going to continue I want to continue the interviewing. Who does your eyelashes?
I do.
They're really pretty.
I do.
They're gorgeous.
I
Look
do.
at me. I had mine done today. Can you tell?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
You did them or somebody did them before?
Well, no, I can't see 2 feet in front of me. I have to have somebody.
Well, I'm old. I can still see. I can still hear. I can still walk. I'm still eligible. I can still read, write, and do all those things. So
do you
I'm
go
okay.
dancing? I want to know if you go
And
dancing.
I love dancing. Oh,
you?
I love to dance. So
Have you
cha-cha.
got a great place to dance in
Yes,
Vegas?
there is a place here in Vegas. It's a dance club actually, and it's where you learn to dance. But I don't know the name of it. I was there.
Is it on the
It's
Henderson
on-
side? Or
I
You're not
don't
gonna
know.
go
I
there.
don't know. Yes, it's a nice area. Very, very nice. But it's great for dancing. And the dancers there are superb. But I'll find it out.
I would like to
I'll
go
tell
here.
you what. Luke Perry, you got to get in touch with this lady, Lisa Tanner. So you got to watch my show to get her the number for the dance place.
And then you
were
can watch
giving
my
awards
show and
out.
I'll tell you all about Ninon. All the things you
Well, you
really
have
don't know. I asked you about tacos. I asked you about your eyelashes.
Okay, we've got 2 things. All right. Now, what else?
I want to know what your hobbies are. You're always working. You're always busy. So what are your hobbies?
My hobbies, actually, I love to write. I write sonnets. I'm a sonnet writer. So and now I've got our friend talking loud. So,
that
but anyway,
based on the
I love
phone?
to. I love to write sonnets. I like to. I like to watch. The television I watch, don't watch films that much. I like to watch late at night a lot of the religious programs because there's only certain people I like to listen to. And I also like, I love the news, I love the stock market.
Me too.
I'm big. I'm not big in the stock market because today it went. No, it didn't go down actually, but my stocks went down.
Mine did too, because
I'm
I
trying
went
to
on
figure
look
out
at.
why.
I really like Rivian, the new electric truck. Amazon's behind it, so I went into that.
Look out for Lucid. I'm going to put a hit out there for Lucid. Lucid, the new car. They do all the cars and all that stuff, all the electric cars and everything. Lucid is great. But
We can't tout. We're not insured. We can't.
oh, I take that back.
I'm taking mine
no,
back,
that's just
too.
a personal thing. That's just a
Oh,
personal thing of mine.
I'm a big
not
Apple.
a
I
stock.
like Netflix.
Well, no,
I
you
like
just said we
Nvidia.
can't send it and you're
Well,
running off.
It's my opinion only. I got sued once for that. Because saying it's my
Wait a
opinion
minute, I
only.
made a lot of money on Tesla. I made a lot of money on Tesla. Yes, I did. I made this. Thank you, Tesla. I love the guy. Forget all the wealth
Oh,
he has.
Elon?
Forget Elon Musk. Forget about who he is, what he is. I think this guy has the greatest personality, and he's got a very, very sweet side of him. Very
He
beautiful.
does. He's got
that
a great humanitarian
Yeah,
as
he
well.
does. He's a great humanitarian. But the way he talks to people and how he is with people, he's just so gentle and sweet. And he doesn't even think he's the wealthiest man in the entire world, but he doesn't care.
He does not care.
And
he
he
cares
doesn't.
that we have electric cars,
Yes.
and they're in California by 2035 there will be no more.
Hang on a second.
I wonder if I'll
Wait,
live
wait,
that long. I wonder if I'll live that
Hang
long.
on. Are we both going to be around by then?
I don't think so. But I'm going to get my face worked on, and I hope to live at
Oh,
least
don't
10 years.
touch
Oh, yeah.
your face. Your
Yeah.
face looks beautiful.
I'm going to look like you, Ninon.
Well, my face, I haven't had my face touched for years.
You look gorgeous.
I don't
All
want-
right. Should we talk about your guest that you're having today?
Well, I don't know. Okay, so this is a great question because they all get very upset with me because I do not pre-interview. My whole gimmick of my show is not to pre-interview. So I don't pre-interview. But I've known you for years, so this was a spontaneous thing. Now, Jamie Hammond, who is your friend, is coming on. I don't know anything about her except the luncheon we had, and I knew a few things because you talked all the time and didn't let her talk.
I didn't talk all the time, Ninon, because you
Oh,
got
then mine was good. Oh, I did? My friend, right? Don't blame
I
me.
love her. She's
I don't
fabulous.
mind. Who?
You're fabulous.
Me or Jamie?
You're
Both.
fabulous. But the
Jamie's
smarts
up.
are sitting
Yeah,
over
the
there.
smarts are sitting over there. We're not smart.
I've taught her everything she knows, so when she talks, it's really me talking.
Oh, really?
Right, Jamie?
She's got to take the credit one way
No,
or the
no,
other.
I don't
She
get
wants
that
to
many credits.
She wants to interview
I'll
me.
take the money.
She wants to interview
I
me
forget the
and
credit.
take my show. Now she wants to take poor old Jamie Hammond. That's all right. Do you know
She's one of
something?
my dearest
I'm
friends.
going to close out because you are one of the greatest women I have ever met.
Thank you.
As a woman entrepreneur who has done extremely well, and if you don't know Lisa, you've missed out in this world. But you have not let any man, any person get in your way, but you've done it gracefully and nicely. You truly have.
Oh,
and you're
thank
a
you.
big, beautiful. You used to be in the gambling business. You and
No,
your husband.
no.
You and your husband had didn't you have
Mark had
Your- on the internet.
Well, I was the head of global marketing
Yes.
for Party Poker. So
Yeah,
when
there
the
you go.
gaming online started in 2000, 2001,
Yes.
we created Party Poker Milligan.
That's
And
right.
then they hired me away from doing my music conference, Edom, and I went to work for Party Poker.
Correct.
And it was a wonderful thing until 2006, and they
They
closed
cut it.
down. Uh-huh.
Because they were making too much money. I guess the gaming licenses and everything like that. It all got very confused.
Well, the
I
brick
don't
and
know.
mortars were missing out. They wanted the
That's what I mean.
business.
They want the money.
Now they're
That's
all
what I
in-
was getting back.
They're
I
all
was
in the
getting
business
down
now.
to. They all wanted the money, so they said, "Well, we can do is shut it down. Then when we get the money. In the meantime, nobody gets the money."
No.
They shut it. Well, there's
You
somebody
have
gets it.
listen. You're going to have a wonderful interview with Jamie. I thank you for having me again.
Is she
I love you.
amazing?
Give me a hug. Goodbye.
Okay, all right. This is our huggy. Oh, we've got our hair in my face. Huggy.
Listen, I'm getting off your show now. Thank
All right,
you, everybody.
let's retrieve you all. We'll have you
They'll
back
want
when
that
I
edited
get my
out,
guest
I'm
back.
sure.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Ninon.
Thank you for watching Vegas Live with me.
Thank
Don't
you.
forget to go to YouTube. You've got to watch this show again because it really is true work.
She's very funny. Okay.
Bye.
There, Jamie, I got her all.
Welcome back to Vegas Live with Ninon. Well, you just had an incredible interview with Lisa. She was trying to interview me, but I don't know if she passed the test or not. I'm not quite sure what happened. But I have her very, very good friend. By the way, welcome to Vegas Live with Ninon. And of course, you know, we're down here at Amigos Taco, which is fabulous, and it's always busy here. And they have a fabulous buffet back here. I think it's $9.99 or something like that. It's not expensive and everything. Anyway, I have Jamie Hammon with me now. Jamie Hammon is a very more of a quiet person, and you probably haven't heard of her out there, but she actually is very, very famous. And I believe you were nominated for 2 awards, and this is where we're going to start.
Oh, I've been nominated.
You've been nominated
I've
more
won
than that.
2.
You've won 2.
national
You've won
Emmys.
2 of them nationally. Jamie, how are you?
I'm good.
No,
Nina.
I
I'm
met
so
you
good
with
to
Lisa,
see you.
and then Lisa bumped in here and had her own interview. Well, why not?
Yeah, well, of course.
Yes.
She's got personality
she's-
coming out of every
I
pore.
know, but you have too.
Oh,
now,
well, thank
now
you.
have. She said she sort of started out and helped you and everything else. I'm quite sure you did it yourself.
Well, yeah, but we're a great team
Good,
together.
yes.
We really are, and we've worked for each other, with each other on different projects, and it's just great. It's
It-
wonderful
it
to
is.
have somebody that's that talented
Yeah.
and hardworking and honest.
Well, honesty is one thing, and then working with another woman is another thing. Women working with women is very, very difficult. I don't know why.
It
but
can
there's
be because
jealousy.
there's jealousy, and that's never entered into our
Yeah,
relationship.
no, and that's the funny thing. I don't have that either.
Yeah.
What difference does it make? I mean, we're all
No,
women.
I
we're
want
women.
all women to succeed.
I think
You
they're.
know?
I think they get grasping it slowly. I think slowly
Yeah.
we're getting there with the women's thing.
I think so too. It's come a long way since I got into film and television.
So you when
many years ago.
a few years ago.
Yeah, just a couple.
Few years ago. But what made you get into the business as of a woman, and you knew the hardship, maybe, or maybe you didn't know the hardship you were going
I
into?
disregard that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I got an opportunity. I wasn't in the field. I was in finance, and somebody said, "Hey, we have a client who's going to do a special for ABC. Do you want to work on it? We need somebody with that background and help." And this, I said, "Well, I've never done it before, but
Let's give it a
sure,
shot."
let's give it a shot. Why
Yeah.
not?" That's
Yeah,
why
yeah.
I talk about considered risk and how important it is, because I do a lot of presentations to kids for some of my stuff, and I talk about follow your passion, which I always love,
Which
the
is
movies
wonderful.
and TV,
Yes. Yeah.
and then take the risk.
Yeah.
As long as
Because
you work
as
your-
long as you're comfortable with yourself, and this is all you have to deal with your
Yeah.
whole life, from the time you breathe, the first breath to the last breath, is what you personally do with your life.
That's
and
right.
it's not really. And if you leave it in charge of somebody else, I guarantee it's going to go wrong.
No,
Because
I've
they
never
don't-
left it in charge or
No.
let somebody
And this
else
is what
in charge.
made you the woman you are, because you've always taken on the responsibility, the achievement, and everything else.
Yeah.
Like you go into this thing and say, "Well, I don't know anything about it. Let's give it a shot." So
That's right.
you were willing to do that.
Yes,
Was
and
that
I-
one of the greatest things you did?
It's one of the best decisions I ever
Yeah, I
made,
figured that.
because it truly is my passion.
Yeah.
And I've been blessed with lots of wonderful opportunities to work with people that I couldn't believe I was actually working with and meeting. And I've got,
And who are some of those people? I won't let her brag. Why not? Come on.
well, you know, I worked with Danny Thomas,
Oh, I knew Danny Thomas.
one of the finest people in the world.
Danny Thomas, I actually was the founder of the Hell Roach Awards for Loyola Marymount University. I was the founder for that.
Okay.
Danny, and I wasn't honoring Danny Thomas,
Uh-huh.
but I was honoring somebody else. And my entertainment walked out on me, and I've got
Ah.
800 people. I
Wow.
walk up to Danny Thomas and said, "Danny Thomas, I got a predicament." He said, "Don't worry about a thing. What time do you want me out?" He didn't even know, and this was a true story. And then his wife Rosemary.
Yes.
And and he went up there, did his thing. He was funny. He can do anything. But cut a long story short, I had just written him a thank you note and everything else, and obviously he never received. He died 2 weeks later. That was his last show he ever did.
Oh my God! Yes, I remember well.
And
It was
he
heartbreaking.
amazing.
He
Sorry
died
about
so
interrupting,
quickly.
but that was such a
No,
great story.
no, he was-
But Danny Thomas was one of the number ones.
And
Nice
he-
guy.
very
Lebanese guy,
nice.
wasn't he Lebanese?
Absolutely.
Lebanese guy.
And he was very generous. He started the St. Jude's, which is one of my heart projects.
Yes.
And
Terry Thomas, I believe, looks after it now.
Yes, yes. And you know, he just was a really incredible person. And I did a lot with Gary Coleman. I don't know if you remember
Yes, Gary Coleman. You're a short guy.
Little short
Yeah,
guy,
little
yeah.
short guy.
It was
And
because he had physical reasons for that.
Yes,
And-
but he didn't let
he
that
was
interrupt.
brilliant.
He was
No.
incredible, but he died rather young, didn't he?
Yes, but when he was 6, he called Montgomery Ward in Chicago because he and his parents lived in Zion, Illinois, outside of Chicago. And he said, "You guys have commercials. I could do them so much better."
And that's what
So
he
he
Gary
did
Coleman.
that in Chicago, and
Yeah.
then he was brought to LA, and he did Different Strokes,
yeah.
which saved NBC in 1978. Can I just say? And so it was great to work
So
with him.
he fulfilled his dream of life.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
he made it happen.
He did. He worked so hard. He was adorable and smart and funny.
Yeah,
And
very
I did the television stuff. I did film with him. He was just a very gifted person, and
Yeah.
he lived a lot longer than they thought he was going to,
Wow.
because his passion drove him on.
Yeah, but the excitement and passion. So I
Yeah.
always say God takes care of everything, and He took care of it.
Absolutely.
He said, I'm not letting this guy go yet. He's not finished.
No, no, and I've worked with
What
Dave.
was it like? I've also got quite a few awards, but what was it like when you got that sort of message, or however you got the message that you were nominated?
Oh, it was so exciting because
It's a feeling you can't
you
really.
cannot.
you
The
don't-
recognition, especially as a woman,
Yeah.
was astounding.
And what was
and-
it for?
It was for being the coordinating producer of Bill Nye the Science Guy, which was a groundbreaking children's television in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I got an opportunity to work on this show, which was a gift,
Yeah.
and it changed my career path
Really?
from commercial television and film to doing projects for public television nationally, PBS.
Amazing.
And that's what I'm still doing 28 years later.
Yeah, you have a show out there for the children at the moment.
Oh, I have a show. Yes, it's out. Has been on air since 2008 called Biz Kids.
Long running time, Biz Kid.
Yeah. And I have a new show that's going to launch in the fall, and it's probably the most important thing I've ever done. It's called Opportunity Knocks. We are following 6 estimated families across the country that have been challenged financially, one reason or another. And we have gotten wonderful financial coaches to work with them. Gene Chatsky of NBC,
Oh, wow.
Louis Baraha, who's one of the most famous financial advisors, and Patrice Washington, who has an
These are all
incredible
very
career.
big names. If you don't know, probably
Yes.
don't recognize them because they're kind of behind the scenes people.
Right.
But they're very big and very, very well known.
And they're
And
very
they're backing
committed.
it for children. But it sounds like they're being committed to the unfortunate families that you're going to bring to light.
Absolutely, and they'll be working with them. We help them set their goals. We've developed tools for the families on the show, plus all the people that go to our website, so they can find help and access to things they don't know about.
Well, they don't know about, but they're probably feeling very comfortable and very happy about knowing about it.
Yes,
now.
oh, we can
Because now
change their
because they're
lives.
big people. These people, they don't need any more money, and they probably don't need
Well,
any more
no,
projects.
I'm talking about the families
Or
and
the
the
families.
viewers
But
will
yeah,
be
but
able.
when we bring them
Yes.
into life, then they will
Yeah.
have a home, then they will have financial, and then everything, and their children.
Financial stability and
Yeah.
wealth building for people that just are so
But then other people
underestimated.
can follow that.
That's
to see,
right.
And that's the idea.
They'll be
You know,
the
I had a
inspiration.
show. I had a show for 16 years.
Yeah.
Voices of Tomorrow, and I actually helped all these kids too. So I know what these kids go
Yeah.
through, and it's heartbreaking when you understand really behind the scenes of what a lot of these
a
children,
lot. Oh,
the
yeah.
battles they go through,
And this
you
is
know,
for families, so it affects the
everybody.
whole picture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mums and dads,
Dads
and children,
and children.
cousins and aunts and
Yeah,
uncles.
generational things.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and so I feel,
You must feel so cool about it.
well, it is. It's just such a joy, and I have a wonderful team working with me, and we're working with a lot of nonprofits across the
Of
country,
course, yeah.
and the CDFIs, which are Community Development Financial Institutions, which is a very rare certification for financial institutions.
Yeah, because everything needs money behind it. You can't go without money. So,
Right. Well,
you know,
and these people,
and they're giving their time.
Yeah. Well, and the CDFIs are committed to serving the underserved. So because these people get so well, they get so damaged by payday loans and different kinds of financial things that they get suckered into, excuse my French. But yeah, so I think we're really going to provide a great service
I think that's
and make change,
amazing.
positive change.
Now, on your other side of life, what are you doing now? Or probably that's taking up all your
Oh,
time.
it takes up a lot of time. It's
worth it.
Yeah, it is worth it. And I am living in Las Vegas now and loving it. I've always loved the desert, and I moved here from
So you must like the heat.
I do. I lived in
126, I'm like dying.
Well,
I'm from England, so you know, it's like...
Well, I lived in Santa Monica for 29 years.
Oh, that's
on
beautiful,
the
but
beach.
that's perfect.
And then I moved in the Northwest. I was there for 29 years, and that's beautiful too for different reasons. But I have a dear friend here, my friend Lisa, and it's just a really nice change.
It's wonderful.
And the people have been so nice.
Yeah, they're very nice.
Oh my word! It's just such
They're
a
very helpful,
joy.
very nice, and
it's
and
beautiful.
entertainment people. They've always got that sort of.
But
They've got
even-
that challenge in life, but at the same time, they've always got that entertainment feeling and that sort of making other people happy.
But I've met people all through the communities in Las Vegas, and everybody has been so nice.
Well, I'm glad that we have made
And
you
welcoming.
happy. I'm glad we've made you happy.
Well, thank
So,
you.
what out of everything you've done in life, what do you think the main thing is that really made you happy and really made? I've achieved this and I've done this and this is really what I wanted.
Well, seeing the impact on families and the medical series that I've worked on since 2000.
Which one is
Second Opinion on public television, and Second Opinion with Joan London. And see how you can just educate or elucidate situations for families or people or individuals. It's so cool how much impact on a positive way you can do.
And we
through
can all
television.
do that. And I think,
Yeah,
you're
just
giving
when
me a
I'm
lovely
one to.
example of what I'm feeling right now, which I've felt a long time. Let's all try to get on,
Yeah.
What was that? Rodney Dangerfield, quote unquote, Rodney Dangerfield said, why can't we just all
Get along. Because there's a lot of beauty in the world.
There's
in
loads
our,
of beauty
and
in the
human
world.
beings
We're all human
can
beings.
benefit from getting along so much more than having divisiveness.
I don't think
going
we're
on.
any different from people that have money and people that don't have money.
No, we're all human
and every
beings.
country, something, I hope everybody knows this, but every single body is exactly the same, except we've got the females and the males and the children.
Which we need. Because
We need
wouldn't
that
keep
because we
going
can't have
without
we
that.
keep multiplying.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we don't have that.
That's right.
But regardless of money, our color, our language, or anything, we're all exactly the same in the world. So Rodney Dangerfield was absolutely right. Why can't we all get
Absolutely.
along?
Why can't we all get
Or
along?
get along, and because we're all thriving for the same thing, and families are thriving to put food on the table for
Yeah.
their children.
Right.
They are. The children are our next generation, and
Oh,
and
yes.
you are doing.
And I love
you like
working
that.
with children. I love working with families. I love my family. My family's
What
very
message do
important.
you
in
want
my
to
life.
give out there? What message would you like to give out there?
How important it is to give back and to really value your personal relationships, your family, and how rewarding it can be to give back in every area of your life. Your friendships, your work, your faith, whatever it is that makes you do what you do. It's really important because it feeds your soul.
Yeah, and this is coming from a woman that I'm quite sure you've been through all the degrees, because there's a lot of degrees to go through, especially as a woman. But we're kind of used to it, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
We're used to the battle, but I think men also have battles too. They have their own battles.
Yeah, we're just people, and we all have our own challenges.
Yes.
And people said, well, I started in the business when there were very few women
So did I.
professionals.
So did I. I'm not going to say
And
my
I'm-
age, but yeah, I went through the same little.
Yes, but
Woman.
if you just keep going and doing your thing, and I don't need to think about that. I just
Well, you don't want to waste
do
your
my
time
job.
on that. Just keep
No, I
moving.
don't
and
have
going
the
along. So
energy
any
to
women
do
out
that.
there, just keep going along and don't worry, because
and
there's a
stay
lot of
true to your passion, right?
Stay true to your passion. Absolutely, I love it. I love this from us. Jamie's so
Well, thank
fabulous.
you.
How can
Thank you
anybody?
so
How
much.
can anybody reach you to maybe another family out there that would need some help?
Well, you can go to our website at opportunityknox.net, and we have ways for the families to submit for that project, and we're looking at every single one, and we hope to have this as our first season, and we'll be following people online as well on the website, and hopefully we'll be back for many seasons to help more people all around the country.
And of course, we do know that Lisa Tanner is very involved in this, and she's got her back to this because she knows so many people. So we know that she's going to help.
She is my right arm, my right hand, my heart. I mean,
Jamie, it's been a pleasure having Jamie on the show because we learned a little bit out there about with all the families what's going on, because there are families out there that need a lot of help, especially now. We've gone through the COVID-19, the epidemic with this, that, and the other. Now we've got something else coming in. I don't know. They seem to invent these names which you can never pronounce of what the next virus is going to be.
Yeah,
what was that again? Thank you for watching Vegas Live with Ninon. Don't forget to go to YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. And I love you all because without you, nothing happens. Take care. We'll be back with our next guest.
Thank you.
You probably recognize the gentleman next to me, Ronnie Nanos. I've had him on my show before. He's absolutely amazing. And of course, you know what you're watching. I presume you know. I'm Ninon. Vegas Live with Ninon. Hey, Ronnie. Great to have you back.
Hi,
you are
how
looking
are you?
fabulous.
Oh, you look fabulous. I have to comment following the ladies that just commented on it. You do have great legs, by the way. You do.
I'm gonna. Do I need to insure them? Or
You
anything?
should insure
I should insure
them.
my legs after all these years.
Absolutely.
Now, why weren't they recognized? 20, 30, 40. Anyway,
It's
Ronnie.
never too late, though.
No, it's never too late. How are you looking marvelous? Where's all the glitter?
No.
He always has so much glitter on.
Today
you're casual.
Today's a little casual.
Little
And
casual. You
I
look-
really like your new digs.
Do you like this? Isn't
I
this
do.
lovely?
Well, I'm from
I know.
Texas, so of course I love it.
Yeah, I love. Well, what we're doing, we're going to different restaurants, different places, and we're actually floating around purposely to encourage other restaurants and to give them sort of notability and let people know who they are and what they are. So
What
here
a
we are,
great
Amigos.
idea.
So we're at Amigos right now, and then next week or maybe after Christmas or only we don't know. Whatever, we might be at another place.
It brings in the community.
Well, that's
and
what we're doing.
I love
Since
that.
my show is actually all about helping the entertainment people, helping people know who people are. That's what the premise of our show is: getting people to know who somebody is and what they're trying to do.
That is fantastic. That's again.
And you are, this gentleman is the #1 top burlesque men. If you haven't heard of burlesque dancers, this is it. Right?
I wouldn't go #1. There's so many great burlesque performers.
Yeah, but no, you're the one. You're on my show, and you're the one.
There you go.
Yeah, your hair.
But actually,
How's
it's
it
really
going?
it's going great. I'll actually be performing. I've actually had a little bit of a break, but I'll be performing this Thursday.
Great. Tomorrow.
Yes, that is tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Oh my goodness.
You're performing where?
At the the Saucy Hoedown at the Soul Belly Barbecue.
Soul Belly Barbecue.
Which it'll be a little. It's a brand new show. I recently found out about that.
Good.
And tonight, actually, there is a burlesque fundraiser for our burlesque legends. I know you know who Georgette Dante.
Oh, Georgette Dante
She'll
is
be-
director of my other show, Ninon Speaks. She
That's
brings me
right.
a lot of talent.
She'll
She's
be
fabulous.
performing tonight, as well as Tiffany Carter and
yes, yes.
Gabriella Mays. They're doing a fundraiser over at the Arts Factory, and through Burley Cares, which is an organization that helps some of our burlesque legends. That as time progresses, some of them, many are no longer performing.
No,
And,
well, because they've reached an age
right.
where they really don't want to perform anymore.
Right.
But at the same time, they've still got that sort of lovely spirit with
Absolutely.
them. Still. They still
Some
keep that.
still do perform.
And they still perform. I know.
It's crazy. It's honest. It's a good segue.
Well,
You know, I've been-
Georgette Dante is
Oh,
know,
she's
come on,
fantastic.
she's been around for years.
She's fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's really crazy. It was kind of segueing a little earlier than what I had planned because I'd taken a break. I just finished filming and directing my second film.
Yes. Now, you must forget, Ronnie is also a film producer, so this is another side. He's got several sides, but this is
Right.
another side. How is that going?
Well, we just did completion of Death Club.
Death Club.
I filmed out here at the Embassy nightclub and really coming along. I actually received my second assembly cut today from my editor, so
So you must be excited.
we're very excited. We'll have our screening first here in Las Vegas, and then in Los Angeles and New York as well.
So it's finished completely.
Almost. Next is our composer. He sets some music.
And who's your composer?
His name is Ricardo Gerhardt, who also did my last film and has worked on various films out here.
Okay.
Unwritten, that's directed by Dale Nevin and a few. But yeah, I'm excited because Death Club will be released right before my 50th birthday, so I'm really excited about that. And Ring of Desire, the one we...
Oh yeah, Ring of the
That was actually released this last month for international and domestic distribution, so it now can be found on Amazon and Xfinity and all of your streaming platforms.
how
So
wonderful.
been very
so
lucky.
Things that, I don't think he's been lucky. I just think he's worked very hard. Believe me, it takes work. You have to be out there, and also you have to take that chance, and you have to take, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's a risk, but it kind of is a risk because your name's on the line, your
Always.
money's on the line, so people that are coming in with all this money and everything to help you, and then it fails or it doesn't follow through, and so you've got that obligation.
well, I think that's what helps me too, is that being a business owner in Texas, I know the value of a dollar. So
Don't we
my
all?
producers like me because each time I've come in quite under budget, so that really helps.
Well, they love that.
They
They love that.
love that. So
Yes.
I'm always looking out for that,
Well,
but without compromising quality. Of
Yeah, but
course.
I was going to say, but that means that you know who your actors are, you know all your directors and your film people
And I go
and all those
in
people.
ridiculously pre-prepared before
Prepared, yes.
before we even film. Again, since I don't live in the area, I'm based in Texas and I keep an apartment out here.
Yes.
So my time has to be very organized
Definite.
before
So
I
you
get
have
here.
to be organized to
Yes.
make sure you've got everything organized and everything. Do
So-
you have somebody here, like a manager, that can take care of sort of things for you?
We build a team. We build a team.
Oh, good.
You know some of my team.
Probably
My
all of
first
them.
AD was in the last two films with Ben Stover, who you're
Oh, Ben
aware of.
Stover. Hi, Ben Stover. How are you? Mwah.
And actually, we are both heading to Los Angeles this Sunday, and we're both on production for another film being filmed out there with Sadie Katz. And Ben is the first AD on that one. I'm the production manager. So just, I think what it is,
Being a
it's just-
production manager, that's a great big responsibility. Something, well, I guess we all take on responsibility.
Yes.
We have to bear that, but
I think just because again, it's that
You're organized.
I'm organized, and so that
Yes.
really helps.
And
And again, it's also the more we work and we start working with different people, you start to, you want to level up. I think all of us as artists always want to go to that next level.
we want that next
and we
level,
want to
yes.
push ourselves, and we want to work with
Well, we want to,
with stronger
we
people,
want to, We
more.
want to succeed.
Absolutely.
And we also, you're probably a little bit of a perfectionist.
I
It
am.
sounds like you're a bit of, and I'm sort of a little bit that way too.
Me too.
I give a little bit because I understand other people's positions and who they are and what
I
they
do
are.
too. I
But
get
at
that
the
everybody comes from a different background or training or situation, and
You have to read that in this business.
yes, very often, yes, we do want to put expectations out there, but we always can't be disappointed if they can't meet our own expectations.
No,
of
they
our
can't be
own-
us
yes,
out there.
yes,
we
and
can't be
that's
fulfilling unless.
and
And,
so-
if we are like that, we
and-
will be fulfilling
well,
all
and it's
those
also
jobs.
for us to also guide those people and
Teach
guide
them,
people
train them.
because we all work with people who have guided us into that next level again many times.
Passing it along.
We owe that to the people that did that for us.
Absolutely.
But with Patel Films, you are
Yeah,
producers.
Patel, yes.
Neelish Patel and Chaitali, who right now are vacationing in India, but I'm sure they're going to watch this too.
I hope
but
so. I hope you're watching now.
we're going
By
to
the
it.
way, we have a big response for Vegas Live with Ninon in India. We have 40 or 50, I don't know. We've got a big response out there. She's saying was the number 2 people that watch our show
Are from India. Well,
from
that's
India. So the Patel
fantastic.
family and my friends Patel. They're lovely. I love
Yes.
them. And his wife.
Oh, Chaitali,
She's-
fantastic
Chaitali,
lady.
She's so sweet and so nice and gentle.
Unless you make her mad.
Well, I haven't done that yet, so I haven't seen.
Me
I haven't seen
either.
that.
No, but no, in a great way. She's
So have they got something lined up for you after this now?
we
Because-
actually
Oh,
do.
we do.
Well, in the film community with the Patels, the next film we're going to produce is going to be probably this spring, which we'll bring in Rolf Koneski to direct, called Images of Fear.
Yes.
But also the Patels knowing that myself and Ben Stober, even my second AD in Death Club, that we were all live performers, all of us being performers from the Strip and whatnot,
Yes,
from the
yeah.
Las Vegas Strip.
Over the years.
And I was a choreographer, director. Ben Stober was a lead in Evil Dead. Jonas Wolverton was performed in Zoomanity.
I don't know the Zoomanity.
Yes.
Zoomanity, I never heard of that.
That one was one of the Cirque du Soleil shows that did close after the pandemic.
Oh, that's
It was at New York.
right. Yes.
But
yes.
with that experience, and the Patels wanted to go into live performance, I guess I'll announce this now.
Go ahead. You announce that. This is your platform.
We
This
are
is your show, not mine.
putting together a new show on the Las Vegas Strip. The Patel Films will also be delving into live entertainment as well, which will be a mix of burlesque sideshow and a little Bollywood.
Oh, Bollywood.
But,
Bollywood is India, by the
Yes.
way. So you all understand that. They
Also,
call-
it'll highlight a lot of the performers that we utilize in our films in Death Club and A Ring of Desire. But also, coming from the burlesque community, it's going to be set, the concept is going to be almost like a speakeasy 2022, which we incorporate classic burlesque and all the old classic styles, and
The
a
old
lot
classic
of our
styles are
performers that do that into what's
that April
considered-
March
yes,
is one of them. There's
absolutely.
so many of them, yeah.
I'm going to see April March soon, actually. But
April, March, and June.
yes, but also going to Neo and bringing in some of those sideshow and how it's progressed from one to the other, where it's also accessible for those that like that as well, but also accessible for those that go and see burlesque performances and sideshow in your smaller venues and some of your
Yes.
local venues. So we want it accessible to that entire
So
public
you
and
want
tell
to
a story.
everybody, yeah, you want to tell the story.
Absolutely.
It's kind of a story of a burlesque, isn't
Absolutely.
it? That's what it
Absolutely.
is.
And
So it's coming back.
yes, one of the big things we wanted to do is we wanted to make sure that we do incorporate a burlesque legend in every one of our shows, which that would include Georgette,
Yes, and
Tiffany
all- yes,
Carter,
Tiffany, yes, all
and
of them, so many of
who've
them.
all been so kind. Gabriella Mays, who's actually in town this week,
Yeah.
and just because I've noticed working with the community in the past 5 or 6 years that there's not. Everybody loves and glorifies the legends, but nobody's booking them.
Well, no. They all want the new sort of,
They want the- they wanna
19-year-olds,
look like-
21-year-olds.
And that's the thing is with our
is good too,
Yes,
but-
absolutely. With our shows, it being classic burlesque, and that there are all body types, and there's all ages.
Because in
And,
those days, actually, when their body type in those days was nothing like the body type they need in these days.
Exactly.
They're too complete. Now they want the 20-inch waist and 36 hips and the 40 bust.
And that's where we want it to be accessible to everybody. That
In those days, it wasn't like that.
absolutely yes, it'll be glitzy and glamorous,
Oh,
and
I love
whatnot
it.
that all of us can feel
Yes.
glamorous, and no
Enjoy
matter
it.
what age we are, no matter what body type we are, that is
Doesn't
what we
matter.
embrace with the burlesque
Doesn't matter
community.
anymore. But also the burlesque in those days, the risque in those days,
Oh, absolutely.
is certainly not risque today.
Oh no, no, no.
It's just a little. We have advanced. We
But
have advanced.
But we do that whole kind of tease thing. Even like I said with Ring of Desire, which
Yeah.
originally when I got that script, I was mortified. It was a little way too gratuitous for my taste, and I'm a burlesque performer. But when I
Well, that's
worked
too
when
much.
I worked with the editors and the writers, I actually did work with the writers, and that the entire film that we actually almost no nudity. There was we do get a female's backside in the entire film, where originally it was written with lots of nudity in there, but coming from the burlesque world,
right, yes.
that the more of the implication of it, the more of
I think
what
it was
you-
done a little bit more delicately.
Yes.
It was done very sort of, it wasn't
Well,
like sort of a,
that it
it was
could
done
be-
more of a
yeah.
sensual, more of a pop, showing you a little bit, but not all.
Right, and well, I think it's those things that like that being sexy. I don't think
What's
comes
wrong
from
with
any.
being sexy?
That it's about being sexy and feeling that way, not because we
What's
have to
Wrong
show
with
everything.
what's wrong with being a woman?
Exactly. What's
And
bad
what's wrong with being a man? Come
Exactly,
on.
and that's what we're embracing. That aspect
it.
of that, taking it back a little bit, but seeing how. And
But
moving,
what it is
moving
then and
forward,
now, yes.
but without this, we wouldn't have this. And I
That-
think reminding people of that. I think
Yeah.
nowadays it's very difficult that you're either one or the other, and there's never any connecting middle ground. And
And there
that's what I
should be
want
a
to do as an
connection.
artist. Yes, that
Because, you know, it's
absolutely.
like families, mums and dads, we've got the children. Well, those children are going to be the leaders of our world. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I don't know if any of you understand that, but you might think your child is just a child. A child is not a child. A child can end up with anything. And I think that's the progression of life.
Right.
And it always looks like technology.
Right,
It's
exactly.
It's all advancing. I know a lot of us can't keep up with the technology, but we kind of have to.
Right.
I mean, you're
But
kind of...
but we do have a venue. I can't announce. I won't
Yes,
announce that
I-
yet.
can
I
you?
have a
Can
few.
you?
I have a few that are making other offers, but
Can you?
not yet. It's going
This
to be
is like
first.
the film business.
First,
you know,
we're going
they
to.
tell you I'm making a film and it's absolutely fabulous. They can't tell you the
No.
name. They can't tell you who's in it. You know nothing about it, but I'm making a great film.
But we're looking at doing a soft opening towards the end of March, beginning of April, and then a big
So we have to have you back on again.
I will be back, and we'll
Maria,
do a
back
big
on
opening
again.
the week of Burlesque Hall of Fame weekend,
Oh wow!
so that we have guest spots for a lot of our international performers that come into town as well,
Okay.
and that aren't performing at Beehoff because you don't want to coincide,
No.
and I never like to.
Back or back.
Yes, yeah, we do back each other.
Yeah.
But what I liked about the venue that's offering, and I worked for this company before, and new owners now,
Surprise!
but their smaller venue that we're starting in, they would,
That might be good.
well, that's what I like. They go, if you can fill this up and do this, then we'll move you to the larger venue.
'Cause
I like being tested that way.
Sometimes
It's
if
good
you,
business.
Well, sometimes yes, because sometimes when you go into a big place and you're like, you know, a third full or something.
Absolutely.
Everybody say it was empty.
Well, and
So
I
if you go into a place where you can fill it,
Absolutely.
and it was full, it was
and
bursting.
show them that there is a want for this type of
I
show.
think you're absolutely right. That's like a restaurant. Sometimes restaurants they expand and they
Yes.
fail. Keep your uniqueness.
Mhm.
Keep who you are. And I
Absolutely.
think that's brilliant.
I know, and that's what really sold me on taking the venue that I think we're going to take because of that. Going, well, I like that. But I think when we're often just told yes all the time, we get complacent about it. I like to be challenged. I don't
Well,
want
have
to
a
be
little
told
challenge.
yes. Yeah.
Oh, challenge is cool.
yeah,
Well, I have lots of challenges. Let me put it that way. And Maria, my producer, knows all the challenges I have. But that's life.
Absolutely.
If you don't have those challenges, how can you move forward? How can you do anything? You've got to have those challenges because that makes you the next step and the next thing to do and everything else. And I'm going to brag. I have another show called Ninon Speaks.
It's fantastic.
And we actually just got on Roku. So we have our own channel on Roku, Ninon Speaks. So that's there. And then, of course, we've got this show, Vegas Live with Ninon, and we're also going to probably be on Roku as well. We're working on it. And I'm actually announcing it to give my producer, Maria Pureza, encouragement. So she'll keep... So I'm pressuring her because I want to get on it, and I got to pressure her to do it. So now it's out there, Maria.
And what's really great, again, is some of the things, as I was listening to the interviews prior
Yeah.
to this, and you know this, even at our film premieres, we do like to pick different charities that we do give
Absolutely.
everything we do raise goes to those charities.
Yeah.
And, you know, again, that's one of the things that Ben Stober has really been on top of. And
He's big in charities,
Yes,
Ben.
and
Ben's very big on
and they're also getting ready
what's
to release
yours?
those films for these Lucky Sevens.
Yes. Oh yeah, the Lucky Sevens. How are they doing?
They're good.
They're
those,
getting there.
Those films will be. I can say this. I'm one of the executive producers. I'm one of the silent.
Well, we
yeah, Jeremy and Ben are the main executive producers of that. But being one of the producers, executive producers as well, that I know those screenings are going to happen around February. We'll be back
Okay.
for that, and it's really exciting to see the films that made it all the way through the challenge.
It's a big
'Cause again,
challenge.
it was a big challenge.
It's a very short period of time to
Well,
film it, and there's
creating
all
a
sorts of-
full feature under the budget of $10,000.
Yeah,
That's
it's
almost impossible
it's
to
a
do.
challenging thing to do. How
But
long
I'm
are most
excited.
of them? 16 minutes, 20 minutes?
Oh no, they all have to be a minimum of 70 minutes to be considered a full feature.
What's a full feature?
Absolutely.
For 10,000?
For $10,000, and they did it.
Let me tell you something. You're going to know an awful lot of friends of people that are going to do things for free.
Absolutely, and even that. Well, it shows people that what you can do on a shoot. It is possible. Again, I've been very fortunate that I've had producers that brought me in and have funded the projects. It was, again, I think the last time we kind of discussed how I got into film.
Yes.
Being a stage and entertainer and a live performer, and I directed theater, but getting into film was such it basically fell in my lap and going, well, what do we do with this?
Seems like a lot of things are falling in your lap, but they're not really falling in his lap. It's what you've done and how you've done it, and being recognized of all the things you've done and how you've done them and how you've always turned up.
Well,
the greatest thing in Vegas, and I also say Texas, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Texas as well. That is to turn up. You've got to turn up, and you've got to turn up maybe sober.
Oh yes, show up and
show up and turn up.
I think the best way to approach anything is, again, is what kind of asset are you going to be there? What are you doing to make that difference? What are you doing to...
You have to
if
stand
things
out.
aren't working in the way you think they should, what do you do about that?
Change
to
it.
improve that amongst yourself, amongst the others. Be an asset on any project you're working in.
Whatever you're doing.
Yes,
change
and then...
it. I was at a restaurant and they were saying they hadn't made any money for 3 or 4 years or something else, and I looked at them and I said, I suggest you change your menu.
There you go.
Hello? That doesn't, come on,
Yeah,
change
again,
it. Change it.
And I think it's always, again, it's how can you help them? I think when we lose the idea of how can people help me instead of how can I help
them?
you, that does make a difference.
Big
It does. Again, I think that's come with a little bit of age.
Well, you become different to everybody else.
Absolutely.
And they're going to call your number, not their number.
Absolutely.
Because they know you're going to come up. Well, we've got to close out on this interview. Absolutely, Ronnie is absolutely amazing. I've always admired him, and he's got the tenacity of so many. And after this burlesque thing coming up is absolutely incredible.
Exciting
How can
this
anybody
weekend.
get in touch and find out more about the burlesque?
Really, through the burlesque community, go on to here in Las Vegas, go through the We Love Las Vegas Burlesque, go to Burley Cares on Facebook or on Instagram, as well as to see how you can also help some of our older burlesque performers that are in need. And volunteer at Burlesque Hall of Fame weekend. I do that yearly, where I am the airport pickup for our legends that come into town.
Wonderful.
And even at the museum
picked
itself.
up by Ronnie.
And they're all such great and tell great stories. Tiffany Carter and I rode together to Utah this last August for the Golden Legends
that
Championship.
must have been an
Some of the
experience.
stories
I
were
can
fantastic, and again, they're priceless.
Yes.
They're priceless. And when we respect where we come from as artists, I guess it makes a difference. The arts are going to be here long after we are here. We're
Music
so lucky.
and the arts, entertainment, it's all going to stay.
Yeah, we're lucky to be vessels to get to do it.
Aren't we lucky?
We are.
Aren't we fortunate?
I think so.
How can anybody get exactly in touch with you?
You can contact me on
Personally.
Facebook,
Ronnie?
Ronnie Lloyd Nanos on Facebook, and on Instagram, and I actually do respond. So
Some people don't, but he actually does.
I do.
Thank you, Ronnie, for coming on my show. Isn't
Thank
he
you.
amazing?
It's always great to be
I
here.
just love this. But thank you for watching Vegas Live with Ninon. And obviously, we're streaming all over the place. I don't know what's going on. But whatever it is, it's pretty good because all our numbers are going up and everything's going great because of Maria. Give her a shout out.
Yay.
Absolutely. Yeah, she's a.
Yay, India.
Yeah, India. Hello, India. Absolutely amazing. And don't forget to go to YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. And also, any of you who would like to come on the show, they can come on anytime. Just get in touch with Vegas Live with Ninon. We've got lots of phone numbers and things out there. I don't have to give them all. We'll be right back with our next guest. You take care. Welcome back to Vegas Live with Ninon. I have Z Ali with me, and she's been just waiting patiently to come on the show. And as you know, I don't pre-interview my guests. Some of them I know, some of them I don't, or I've known them, had them on my show before. Z, I've known on and off through Vegas, but I really have never known what she does. She's in the humanitarian business, high executive, and apparently never went to college. That's what I know, but that's it. So, how are you, Z?
I'm pretty good.
Does she look beautiful? Huh? Where are you
Thank you.
originally from?
I was born in the Caribbean, grew up in Canada,
Yeah.
and got transferred to North Carolina. So I've been
Now
around.
she's
I've been
in
around
Vegas.
in a good way.
How did you get into Vegas? Did you like Vegas?
This is the most fun I've ever had because I've worked all of my life, but I quit my job in Florida. I was working downtown Miami.
So you've been
I said I've been
traveling.
around, yes. I'm a world traveler as well.
You're
I
a
do,
world
I do
traveler.
historical tours.
What
and
do-
I love-
oh, I've never heard. Oh, this is something new. What do you mean historical? Hope you've been to England, because England is very, very old. We have fabulous places for people to go to.
Really?
Castles and all that stuff, and history.
Same like Egypt
Yes.
and Turkey.
Yeah, I think they're all
No,
old.
their history is amazing.
Yeah, history. But isn't history wonderful? Not many people do history.
My last trip was Cuba, and my last cruise was Alaska.
What did you think of Alaska?
Well, okay, so I said I've been around. I was born in the Caribbean, and then I relocated to Calgary, Alberta. I live with a wonderful uncle and aunt, and my uncle worked for CN Telecommunication, then he got transferred to the Canadian Arctic.
Oh, wow.
So I lived where the Eskimos and Indians live,
What a
and close to
life.
the North Pole.
So
And-
you're going to write a book?
yes, my book is called You First,
You
A New
First.
Beginning.
A new beginning. You first, then
You
new
first.
beginning. So what is the new beginning? What is that telling people?
Okay, I've worked all of my life. I did attend college for advertising and PR in Edmonton, Alberta,
Okay.
and I worked in HR for most of my life. Under the umbrella of human resources, you've got recruitment, you've got benefits, payroll, you've got so many different
In the
avenues.
human resources, you built yourself up. Obviously, you started at the bottom, and you built yourself up.
Well, I've always been a corporate recruiter. So I started as a corporate recruiter, and then because I excelled at what I did, I was promoted to filling the higher end positions at like an IBM corporation,
Yes.
global engineering
And how did
company.
you recognize all these people that would come to you and say, I need a job? I mean, they give you resumes, they give you all that stuff, but then you have to kind of present this to the corporation that's hiring, and you want to make sure you send them the right person. That's hard.
Right, but everything's automated. So if you post a job on Monster, Career Builder, Jobbing, Indeed, the system pulls out the buzzword. It does the search behind the scene based on the buzzword. So in your inbox, if you look at required and desired, what you're looking for, it narrows the
It
search.
narrows it down.
So by the time I interview and screen a person, and I submit 3 people,
You've
one of
checked them
them's
all out.
one's getting the job.
So this is the number one checkout. She checks everybody out. I don't check anybody out. So you check everybody because that's a job
But it's only for positions,
for certain positions.
for higher end, difficult to fill positions. I mastered it. It was
And how's
it was a
are
challenge.
you doing it now?
No, I quit my job 4 years ago, 3.5 to 4 years ago in Miami.
You quit right time. Good timing.
I was listening to the previous speaker, and they said follow your passion. Anyway, I said there is more to life. I moved
You're
to
filling all these jobs, high-end jobs.
The book is called You First, A New Beginning, because their success is based on money, title, climbing the corporate ladder, accumulating and accumulating. But
All
when I
these
moved
levels.
when I moved to Vegas, I found out my daughter had breast cancer. And she's stronger than me. She's my hero. So I started looking at life a different way, and I thought, you could have so much of the material
And then all of a
things,
sudden this comes up.
but your health comes first. She teases me because I tell her, yes, Mom, my health is my wealth, but really, I really do admire her strength.
it's funny
So
you-
I haven't worked in 4 years. I've been giving back.
But giving back, it's funny you should say that, because my greatest thing is that you've got to understand who you are first, what you are and what you want. Because if you don't know what you want, how's anybody else going to know? So I always say, go into your bedroom, only because I think that should be the most tranquil place in your home. In your bed, and don't think about anything, and just think about what you've achieved and who you are and where you want to go and what you want, and just kind of relax and understand who you are. Because if you don't know who you are,
Exactly. But one thing I've done is, okay, I'm a female, visible minority. I've opened doors for minorities to get into companies that...
back to the female thing again.
No, not only is a female, visible minority, because
visible
the
minority.
areas I've worked
She's talking
in...
about colour and language, obviously.
When you work in larger corporations, in certain positions, there are doors that may be closed if you don't have an English name. Depending on your accent, if English is your second language. So we've had managers. When I lived in Calgary was mostly British, Scottish, and Irish at the time. They've got more, of a diverse population now. But I was able to open doors and doing my good humanitarian thing for people who ordinarily would not have gotten in.
At the moment you're talking about colour, because you're talking or
Diverse.
language.
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
You're talking about everything.
Yeah.
But obviously you were not shy of any of that. So that didn't even affect you at all. So you went in it as an open door.
That's when I have to,
And you knew
it's an
who-
education thing, so I have to remind the managers when they push back. I'd say,
Hang on
sir,
a second.
I said, sir, my name isn't an English name. Yes, English is my first language. That's the only language
Language you
I
know.
speak. But you can't not consider somebody because they came from a third world country, because English is their second language. So there,
I couldn't
I was-
agree with you more, because we're all the same, and I was trying to say this before.
Exactly.
We're all exactly the same.
So I did-
Some are short, some are tall, some are fat, some are skinny. We're all different, but inside we're all the same.
Exactly.
Start using what you have inside.
So that's why it's an education thing where I had to push back to the managers to say, hey, listen, select these people based on what their capabilities are, the difficult to fill skill set.
Absolutely.
What can they do for your business or taking your
Because you're
company?
bringing them into
Exactly.
your business to
For
take
a
on a
purpose.
job that you can't do.
Exactly.
If any of you don't know, but CEOs that own companies and have positions, the reason they employ all these different people is because they can't do it. But they have to trust that person coming in. So they have to read that mind, they have to understand that person, and maybe they have to watch them a little bit as they're for the first couple of months of which direction they're going in. But that's why a CEO does not know everything. He's just smart enough to admit that he doesn't know everything. That's all he is. That's all he does. I can't do it, so let me get somebody that's really good enough come in and do it.
Yeah, Steve Jobs
So
said
I've now
that,
let the
and-
cat out of the bag of why. If none of you knew it. But most people don't know that.
No,
You
well, the
know
Bill
that.
Gates and the Steve Jobs and all, they know that. So
course
they
they know
hire.
that.
They don't have to do everything.
They know they
can
don't have
pay
to.
somebody else, who's got the skill set.
Well, the
So why do
Amazon
it
guy, what
yourself?
is it? The Amazon, what's his name? The Amazon.
Oh,
Whatever
what's his name?
He,
Oh, I'm having.
Joe Bezos. He doesn't start until 10 o'clock in the morning. So don't think he gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning to be at a job. And actually, this is really quite funny what you're talking about, because if you get up too early and you haven't had enough sleep and you might as well just not work, because you don't function at that time. People think I have to get up at 6 o'clock, I have to go. No, you don't. You're better off going to work at 10 o'clock being functional. You've got up, you've relaxed, you've had your coffee, you watched a little bit of news or stock market or whatever the case is, and you're going to work completely ready to work. Is that true?
You remind me of a joke my daughter just sent.
My whole thing was a joke. Okay.
No, my daughter, what you just said, she turned it into a joke. She said, Mum, I spent the entire day in my PJs, but I didn't make any money. like the big
Are we
CEOs
talking about
and stuff.
COVID-19? There was more pajamas bought in COVID-19 in 2019 and 2020 than any time ever. Everybody was at home in their pajamas. I think the whole families were.
But the big CEOs and whatnot, when you were talking
Yes.
about,
They
their
wear
stocks are going
pajamas.
up and they're in their PJs, but they're making
Then
money.
they're making money. That's the joke. That's the joke, and that's absolutely true.
I thought
But
that was
don't
pretty
get this
funny.
thing about CEOs knowing everything. They don't.
No.
But they're smart enough.
Well, it's like Nelson Mandela said. He said he attended his father when he went with his father the father where the tribal leaders will all get together.
Okay.
And he wouldn't say a thing. This is like having a brown bag lunch or a round table discussion in corporate America and
You don't
Canada.
say anything. Yeah.
You don't say anything. So he would listen to each of the tribal members before he spoke. So he gathered
All the
their
info
right
first.
before. So it's like when I'm interviewing someone, I tried not to speak as much because I am gathering information.
Because remember one thing, what you just said. If you are talking, which I do all the time actually, that's my job though, but if you're talking all the time, how can you listen about somebody else, what they've got to say if you're talking? Think about that one. If you're talking, how can they talk? Remember that.
Exactly. I just did a podcast with Denny Mayu. He's a focus coach, and it was networking like a pro. It's on YouTube.
What
and
is networking?
Networking is like us walking into any of the meetup groups. When I moved to North Carolina, so I worked for a global engineering company that transferred me to Raleigh. I didn't know anybody at all. The company paid for me to belong to the Chamber of Commerce, and that was the stepping stone.
They recognize your intellect.
So then you meet these new people from different corporations, different backgrounds and whatnot,
Absolutely.
and then you join the different meetups. Through each of those, you've only got a few minutes to meet all these different people. So time is of the essence. Now we already know ourselves. So if we talk too much, how would we know?
How can we listen to them?
Right? Who would be a value add to us?
Notice that
If
being
we've got-
quiet.
Yeah. If we've got a product or a service.
I'm listening.
But you're the interviewer, so I'm the guest.
I'm the worst person, and I apologize to everybody out there if I talk too much, but I can't help it. It's just that's just how I am. That's just who I am. But you've got out of all the things you've done, what is the most prominent thing that sticks in your mind that was absolutely thinking, oh my goodness, I've reached my dream. I've reached not the epitome because you've still got time to go. What would that be?
At the time, I can say, I would have, that your previous guest mentioned about following your passion. If I have to give my younger self, not my younger self or anybody else, I'd say, we were conditioned to where you've got to go to school, get a degree, work for somebody else, fulfill their dream. What about your dream? Jay Shetty, the famous speaker as well, and former monk, he said, in the Asian community, if you're not a doctor, lawyer, or whatever,
And you're out of the community.
then you don't have credibility. So your children are forced, in a way, to follow their
They're following
society,
somebody else's dream. They're
dream.
following somebody else's dream.
Right.
And I can vouch for that. I never went to school. I never went to college. I don't think I've ever had a mentor. And I've had to learn every single solitary thing myself. So I'm a prize example of what you're saying. Because it may be better for me, I don't know. But I didn't have all those other things to guide me somewhere else. I just went where I went. And it's pretty cool, actually, because now I have Z next to me. If I wasn't doing what I was doing, I wouldn't have Z Ali with me. So
Sure, you never know.
don't
Our
know.
paths cross for whatever reason. I listened to Mind Valley. The speaker is, his name is Vashan. He's originally from Malaysia. So he talks about the same thing. Follow your dream, follow your passion, because and when I remember when I worked at IBM, young kids would call in and they'd be so sad, and you can't hire everyone, and they have outstanding student loans. They can't get a job because there are others who can hit the ground running. So my heart went out to them, but they followed what they were conditioned.
supposed to do. This is what I'm supposed
they were
to. I'm
supposed to do.
In
Student
England, we
loans.
don't all go to college, which is the greatest thing out, because at 16 you can actually go into an apprenticeship. An apprenticeship is normally 3 years, which means you can be an accountant, a hairdresser, whatever the case may be. But you actually work the job for 3 years and then you become what you are, which I think they're bringing into America more and more.
And that now is like following your passion. If you always want to be a mechanic or electrician, there's always going to be a need for those. Why there's so many doctors? Some of these like Mind Valley and Jay Shetty, they mentioned there's so many doctors who are miserable. They're unhappy. They went
They've
or
got nothing, they
lawyers.
can't do anything else because they've got to bring money in to feed the kids, to do this and pay the car, pay the
They're
house.
not but that's not
They're
their
happy.
passion.
No.
But they were conditioned as this is what success is. I'm glad that my daughter was going to school to be a lawyer. She took some time off, and now she was a bartender on the Strip. And she's
She
so happy.
probably loved it. She probably loved
she
it.
loved
because
it.
She got to know other people,
Right.
the real people.
But when she started having health issues, I'm so thankful that it didn't force her or push her to do what society expected as considered
Yes.
success.
Absolutely. So whatever success is
Whatever
actually,
I say, follow your dream,
it's
follow
kind
your
of in your
passion.
mind. It's your own mind. Your success is what you want.
But it's your life, you know. We
Yes.
think we're going to live forever. We're going to think, you know, when I get
Yes.
older, when I, you know.
Yeah.
But how do we know tomorrow is promised?
And
It
by
every
the
day is
way,
a gift.
getting older, it gets there faster than you think. And I'm an example of
Exactly.
it.
In a blink of
The
an
time
eye.
you think about what I'm going to do, you sort of then you say, I'm too old. You're never too old. You're never too old to actually start what you'd like to do, and you know.
So
you can do
enjoy today for today.
it. Absolutely.
It's a gift.
It's a total gift. We've
It's
been
a
gifted
gift.
today, and enjoy
And be
every day.
happy, be happy and content. And
absolutely.
you know, Oprah Winfrey said, "Do what you have to do to make the money, to do later what you want to do."
There you go.
So it's simultaneously you can do both
You
until you follow your passion.
Absolutely. How can anybody reach you and get in touch with
Well,
you?
I'm giving back and I'm volunteering right
Yes.
now. My email address is zeellall@yahoo.com.
Amazing. And you want to do volunteer work? And
I'm
help.
volunteering.
What is your
I
most
consider
passionate
myself
one?
very blessed.
What is it? Yep.
I am working on something after. I'm working on something right now.
She can't tell us.
I can't
This is
say
the
anything
third
just
guest
yet.
that can't tell me what they're working on.
No, it's in the preliminary stages. So
This is quite funny. I've got this great thing happening, but I can't tell you what it is. Okay.
it's in
love
the
it.
early stages.
So what is your best foundation you like to work for? What is that?
It's giving back and helping. There's so many.
'Cause
I
there's a-
realize in Vegas, I see so many people who are single who don't have families here and stuff. So it's bringing people together, like the Golden Girls,
The Golden Girls, yeah.
sort of something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And skill set. What I'm doing right now is connecting, matching people. If I see Maria needs somebody with certain
Yeah.
skill set, and I could refer or to you or
Wonderful,
to anybody,
yes.
that's what I'm doing.
So helping
I'm
other people. So
helping
your
other
thing.
people without wanting anything in
So
return.
Z wants to help other people, which I think is what we all want to do. Thank you for watching Vegas Live with Ninon. And don't forget, we are at Amigos Taco. It's absolutely an amazing restaurant. Their food is awesome. The
Yes,
place is always busy. I don't know where they get all
Love
that.
the ambience.
The ambience is lovely,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Amigos
Absolutely.
Tacos Cantina.
Cantina.
Guys,
There,
check
look
it
at
out.
Keep going. She's a good advertiser. Did you have any food here? Did you eat?
I have eaten before, but it's
Excellent.
I wanted to try their buffet, but I have to check it. I have
And
to
the
come
buffet
early
or
one
something,
day.
I think, what is it, $9.99 or something? Is
$13.99.
Complete buffet,
Buffet.
everything absolutely
Yes.
fabulous. We will be right back with our
I'll
next
have to come
guest.
one day with Barbara Brighton.
There you are, Barbara Brighton says she's going to be a guest of mine. We'll be right back with we might be right back with Barbara Brighton. I think we will be. Be back. Thank you. Welcome back to Vegas Live with Ninon. I think you recognize who's next to me, and if you don't, you should. Barbara Brighton is actually extremely well known, and I'm going to say over the years because they've known you over the years, and she looks amazing. I don't know how you do it. Barbara Brighton
I have
is
a good
incredible.
doctor.
She has a good doctor.
I
I'm
don't.
You don't?
Of course not. I'm just kidding.
You don't have you've never had a facelift on, never?
Do I look like it?
You look great.
Thank
You
you.
look lovely.
No,
Look at the
I
lashes.
wish
she's got,
I had
she's
the-
got her own lashes on.
That's
Monica,
right.
can
I didn't
say.
wear the false ones today.
You didn't?
No.
You couldn't get them on?
No, I didn't want to.
You didn't want to? She
I wanted to be a la natural.
She wants to be a la natural. Well,
Right.
actually, a la natural Barbara is a comedian, and which you can tell, and also a singer. Now, I had really, it's a funny thing, I've known you for years,
Yes.
and I'd never really heard you sing, but everybody said, oh yeah, she's a singer, and I thought she was a comedian. And then I was
Which
at one
is
place.
what everybody else in Vegas thinks.
Okay.
They get confused because they know me as a tribute artist
So
for
what are
Joan
you?
Rivers.
Oh, on the Here We Go Again.
I'm multifaceted.
We're multitasking.
I'm multifaceted. I'm not multitasking. I have a lot of gifts, and I
And
started
you're sharing
as a
them
singer.
all. And you're sharing them
Well,
all.
I hope so.
So you started as a singer.
Started as a Broadway singer
Can you sing
in
something
New York.
for me?
What do you want to hear?
What you want to
Come
sing?
on, babe, why don't we paint the town? And all that jazz, and that's all you're getting, Ninon.
She actually
Thank
has
you.
a very powerful. You have a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
And I'd never really.
You never heard
Well,
it.
I've already heard like a couple of lines, and like
Yeah.
now, and then I heard you sing, and I thought I would have heard this whole song. And it was beautiful.
Well, come Sunday, I have a show at McDonald Ranch Sunday.
I thought you
I'm
could say
doing-
McDonald's on the corner, walk and don't walk. Shut this
No,
up.
but you never know. I may be asked to play Mickey D's. What do they call that, Mickey D's?
Anyway, McDonald's.
Yeah,
Park,
McDonald Ranch.
McDonald's
No,
Ranch.
I'm doing a show.
It's a ranch, not a ranch.
Ranch.
It's a ranch.
It's a ranch?
It's a ranch.
Why is it a ranch?
Because it's English.
Oh, McDonald Ranch?
Yes,
You're English.
I know.
You're not.
Yes, I am.
Where are you from?
My mother.
Timmy, I love you so much. We've done so
We're just
many.
fooling around.
We've done so many shows together.
Yeah, we
that
have red
I'm so
carpets and all that
comfortable
stuff.
talking with you. What,
Are
honey?
you? We do red carpets and all sorts of crazy
Yeah,
things.
everything.
We've done everything.
Well, you're multitask and faceted too. Does everybody know all your background?
No.
Oh my goodness.
I don't want Vegas to know all my background.
Oh no. She's done so many things. It's ridiculous.
We're zipping it. I mentioned a couple of things today, but
Oh, you
and I
did?
thought, oh, shouldn't have mentioned that, but I did, and it's too late now. It's out.
Why
I don't.
not?
Why not? Because I really like people to like me for what I've done and what I've been. Because
Yeah.
I've had the most incredible life. I've
Yeah.
had the most beautiful life anybody could have.
I know.
And I've lived in the most beautiful homes. I have the most beautiful cars, the most beautiful jewelry. I can really brag, but I just like being me in Vegas. I just like being Ninon. I just go out
Yeah.
with no makeup on, and the only problem is
Yeah.
people recognize me because of the voice. Oh, that's Ninon, and I've got no makeup on. I got a hat on.
But
I got
also because of the media, you've done so many television
Yeah, I've
shows
done.
that everybody knows Ninon.
So let's talk. This is about Barbara. Not
You're a
Ninon.
one-word person,
This is
a one-name person.
one name, but we're talking about Barbara.
Okay.
Now your career. You've been. How old were you when you actually started?
I think I would say 13.
13.
I was like, okay, that's when I started dancing at Harriet Hochter in Boston. I started
You're
as
from
a dancer.
Boston.
I'm from Boston, yeah. That's where my stage name is, Brighton, yeah. I think I was 13. Yeah.
Well, roughly anyway. You
I
were
think
quite
so,
young.
yeah.
And what were you singing or were you
No,
dancing?
I was doing dancing.
Dancing.
And I remember the song I did because it was like a premonition that I had in my life and I didn't know. A, you're adorable.
B, you're so beautiful.
C, you're a cutie full of charms. And so forth. And I was in the tutu and all that stuff. And after I finished my section, I went out to see my mother, and say, did you like the show? Blah, blah, blah. And I said, I gotta be backstage. I can't stay out here. I have to be backstage. And I was bitten by the bug. That's exactly what happened.
How beautiful.
Ninon?
You never regretted a day of that since.
I figured it out. I said, I gotta be
That's
back.
what I got to do.
I
So what
can't
did
be
you
in the
do?
audience.
So
I have
did
to
you
be
started
backstage.
taking dance lessons.
Yes, I
and,
did.
and singing lessons.
I gave myself singing lessons
You get-
and piano play.
So
No,
you're a
I took
self-singer.
piano. Yes, no. My family gave me piano lessons when I was a kid, stopped all of that. Then we moved to Florida, and they stopped everything. So I said, I'm giving myself singing lessons. So I paid for my own singing lessons.
How cute is
well,
that?
I guess I had a passion, you know.
Did you know you had a voice?
No, I really didn't know. I just wanted to sing.
How beautiful.
And I studied, and I paid for it myself, and yeah. And then
So
I...
you're kind of self-taught.
Yes. Well, no, with a lot
Not
of teachers.
self-taught, but yourself, you paid for everything, did everything.
As a
and-
singer.
As a singer.
As a singer, yeah. And then when I went to New York, I did 10 Broadway shows, but I studied Italian. I said, "Si mi chiamano me." Nobody knows I
She's
could
singing
sing opera.
again. I didn't
could
even
sing
ask her
opera.
this time.
But nobody understands that I could maybe do that. And I said, but I studied that. You know, and then I went on to do Broadway shows.
So have you always,
Not
'cause I,
opera.
I know what you are now. I know you're a go-getter and nothing will stop you from anything. Were
Thank
you
you.
like that at the beginning of time? Because it sounds like you were.
Yes.
I'm going to take my own singing lessons. I'm
Yes,
going to do my
yes.
own this, my own that.
Yes.
So when you knew you could dance, and now you're learning to sing, and then you get onto the stage in New York. How old were you getting on the stage in New York?
21.
21.
Yeah, 10
So
Broadway
you took
shows.
yourself from Boston
Yeah.
to New York
Yes.
and started
10
how
years.
Did you, what did you
Well,
do?
I went to
reason
the
I'm asking-
University of Florida in between, Gainesville. And after
Gainesville.
2 years, I said, I want to go on Broadway. And I left to do Broadway.
Did you learn to do communications in university?
No, everything was music. So you mean when I finally did a talk show,
Yeah.
that's the last thing I did.
I didn't even know you did a talk show.
Yeah.
She's
for
trying to
3
be like me on a talk show. It'll never happen.
No, I did.
Nobody could
that's-
ever be as crazy as I am.
That's a story.
That's for
Well,
sure.
wait on, I'm crazy too.
Well, there you are, actually.
Well, I don't know.
I
what
definitely
told
agree
you.
with that one.
No, but here's the
What?
thing. When
Tell
I
me.
lived in LA,
Yeah. You lived in
And-
LA as well? Oh, good luck.
Yeah.
She's all over the world.
yeah, for a long time, I was on General Hospital in LA for 3 years. But you knew that, didn't you?
No, I did
Yeah,
not know that.
yeah.
No, I'm learning
So
things.
anyway,
this is a
Well,
Ninon being
that was my
taught.
acting part.
Okay.
No, when I was watching Oprah, Phil Donahue, you know, all those people when they did the talk shows, and I said, I want to do that. I needed to reinvent. It was just
you
something-
didn't have enough going on
No,
already.
no. I wanted to do that
So
too.
you wanted to
yeah.
do that as well.
I did.
So how?
I did.
Because she's like a Joan Rivers. You know, everybody
like
thinks
to
you
talk.
are Joan. You,
I know,
To
I
tell
know,
me, she
I
loves
know.
to talk. But so when did you start your talk show?
In 90.
90s.
90 to 93. Yes, and I did General Hospital from 80 to 83.
Wait a minute, 90 to 93.
Yes.
19 what? 19
No,
what?
90.
Oh,
90.
90.
1990 to 93.
Oh,
I
1990
did 3
to
years.
90. You did 3 years of it.
Yeah, you were probably in LA at the same
I was
time.
then, I was LA,
Yeah.
but I don't think I had a talk show then. I didn't start my
No,
talk shows
no,
till
because
96.
you were doing 5 million other things. You were a swimmer. You did a million things.
How do you know I was a swimmer?
Because Ron interviewed you, Ron Garrett, Las Vegas Rockstar. I went, oh my God, Ninon did all of that. See,
had
one
a-
never
I had
knows
a-
until somebody interviews you. I'm going to interview you.
I had an underwater swimming act in Beirut of all places.
I'm telling you.
I know, I'm telling you.
I dropped my mouth. I never knew she did all
I
that.
gave up all my. I was a top model actually in London, and I worked with Harrods, all the top people.
I
all
can
the
see that.
And then this crazy. Charlie Hedges came along, producer, had this show in Beirut. It was nothing to do with the swimming. It was nothing to do with the show. It was living in. Oh, I'd love to live in Beirut. I want to
Really?
find out what. But that's,
Who wants to live in Lebanon? Are you serious?
I'm very serious. That's
Why?
what I was only
Why?
like 22, 23 at the time, but I actually wanted to live. Forget the swimming
Did you
thing.
meet your husband in Beirut?
No, I met my husband in Los Angeles.
Oh.
I met my husband in Los Angeles.
Sounds like a
through-
song. I met my husband in Los
LA.
Angeles. Yeah.
But I met him through a guy that I didn't trust and didn't like. And
Uh-huh.
it took this guy 6 months to introduce me to my husband that I never knew would be my husband.
Wow.
But it took 6 months because I didn't trust anybody he was going to introduce me to. So I said,
Oh.
no, later, and later. And then I thought, I've got to shut this guy up. And lo and behold,
It became-
29 years, and it was the most beautiful
Wonderful.
marriage in the
Really?
world. I had the greatest husband for me because he was
Yeah.
married twice before.
Yeah. But you didn't trust
they-
the guy that
they-
introduced you.
No. See? So you never know what's around the corner, and you never
Right.
know who you should trust and who you shouldn't trust.
You have anybody for me?
Well, I'm trying to find somebody for me. Hang on a second. So we both need.
I'm
hang
still
on a
waiting.
second. We're going on the dating game now. We're changing the whole thing. Forget the singing. Forget
Right.
the
No
Joan
showbiz.
Rivers.
No showbiz.
No showbiz. Now
We're
we're
in
both looking
transition.
for husbands.
We're in
Now, what
transition.
sort of husband are you looking for? Is it just
Somebody
anyone?
that's single, for one thing. Start off that way.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had the others. I don't want them anymore.
You've dated married men.
Married many. Shh, shh, don't tell anybody.
It's one thing I don't do.
Well, you know,
I don't
I'm
know.
in transition now.
Transition
yeah,
from
I
what?
know.
Wait a
Well,
second. Transition from what to what?
Because I know who I
why you
am.
never-
I know who I am.
Who
now.
are you?
Well, that's. I'm,
You got an hour?
I got self-esteem at a very late age. And
Okay.
when I got self-esteem, then I had respect for me and I knew what I shouldn't have done.
What you
So-
shouldn't have done.
Yeah,
but you
I know.
can't
Why
go
not?
back on what
why,
you should
why
have.
date married men? They're unattainable, Ninon. And
I
I
don't-
wanted
I've
to
never-
get
I don't date
married. I
married
wanted
men.
to get married.
Well, that was. Didn't you realize that?
No,
you
of
thought
course
that,
not.
Oh,
I was
know.
stupid.
She's no. She wasn't.
You know, I was a
stupid.
comedian.
You
I was
thought,
stupid.
You thought.
This is
that
on
that-
the air. I can't believe it. Forget this part. What?
Take this part
Yeah,
out.
edit me.
Go read back the.
I want him to think I'm smart. Thank you.
Well, she is actually. I don't know about this marriage thing.
Well, I'm
So-
revealing. I'm
all right,
revealing.
let's not worry about what you did back there.
Right.
What are you doing now? What sort of man do you want right now?
Oh.
Not married.
No,
Do you want young? Do you want middle-aged?
no.
Do you want older?
No. I want
Older.
a kind man who will sort of take care of me emotionally, because I need that. And
This is getting
I
tricky.
do, and he has
This
a
is
great
getting
sense of
very-
humor.
Yes.
He likes to laugh. I like that because I like to laugh.
Does he have to sing?
No, no, my God,
Just
no.
asking. Just
No, he
asking.
doesn't have to have any talent. Just let him be a nice man who will let me do what I want to do.
Isn't that nice? Well,
Yeah.
Well, I
And
don't.
when I find out
I
what
think
it is,
everything was
I'll let
fine.
everybody else know.
Everything was great until she said, "Let
What?
me do what I want to do."
Well, accept
now,
what I
that
do.
could actually close a lot of barriers.
No. Except that if I want to perform, be happy for me and let me
And let her
Let me do
perform.
it. Yeah, that's all. That's what I meant.
Now,
What
do
you
you
think I
have to?
meant? What? What?
She gives me that look. What do you think I meant?
What do you think I meant?
Well, I thought maybe you had to perform for him.
No! Oh my God.
I
no.
don't know. I'm just asking.
No.
You
I
said,
forgot
"Oh,
what that's
you said-
like
You
already."
said I have to perform. So I'm not quite sure what.
Let's
what
not talk about this. Let's talk about the future.
All right, what's your favourite joke? We just had it, but what's your
Okay,
second
okay.
favourite joke?
My second favorite. I can do one Joan.
Do a Joan.
Okay. Can we talk here? I've had a. Oh, wait a sec. Let me think. Are there any older guys here? Because you got to be careful when you date older men. They never tell you the truth. A friend of
What do
mine
you mean
was
they don't
dating-
tell you the truth when you're
Well,
young?
You're done.
All
Don't
right, go
step
to the
on my
joke.
line. I'll forget it. Okay. They never tell you the truth. A friend of mine was dating an older guy once. He never told her he was wearing a hearing aid. She stuck her tongue in his ear and was electrocuted. Thank God you laughed. Right?
That was a good one.
That's a
All
good
right,
one. Thank you.
That was a good one.
Oh,
All
that's
right, What's
good.
the next one?
No, that's it, sweetheart.
Oh,
That's
that's all I get.
No, for
I
my-
give her all
my-
this time.
Yeah.
She gives me one very good joke though.
Thank you,
So
sweetheart.
that was a very good joke.
Thank you.
And what's your all right
That's-
now? What's your favourite song you like to sing?
Oh, that's all.
That's all.
That's all.
Give me a line.
I can only give you love.
Gazelle
that lasts
Mackenzie. Gazelle
forever.
Mackenzie was the one that brought that out
Really?
originally. Yep. I
And
think
a
she was the original
promise
one.
to be near each time you call. And the only heart I own for you and you alone. That's all.
that pretty
That's
well?
all. I didn't know you were going to ask me to sing today.
Well, I think you like to sing anyway.
I do. I love to
You
sing.
just told me at the very beginning of
I
this
love to
interview
sing. I
that
love
I
to
love
do it
to
all.
sing.
I love
so
to
come
do it all.
on. Come
And
on.
you know what's coming up for
What's
me?
coming? All right, tell me what's going on.
Okay, I'm going to Florida in February to
You're
do a
going to
couple
live?
of shows. No,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just going to do a couple of shows in Florida, which I usually do twice a year, but since the pandemic, we couldn't go anywhere, right? So now they booked me for this time,
Yes.
hopefully,
Good.
in February. And then they've asked me to do a show at the Nevada Room. You know that?
Oh, the
new-
Nevada Euros.
Yeah, it's coming up.
This is this
It's-
room that is incredible in
Where
Vegas.
they bring a
It's
lot of
Yeah,
performers.
a lot of performers, a lot of people, a lot of high end.
Right,
Everybody's
right.
going. I haven't been yet, They haven't invited me
I
yet.
just don't know when
know why.
it is. So therefore, I can't
can't
give
tell.
in a date. No, I don't have a date. He just told me I'm on the list. And
Well,
I
she
said,
doesn't have a
"Good."
date for singing, and she doesn't have a date to date
I
as
do.
a guy.
Sunday I have a date. I'm singing for the Jewish war veterans Sunday.
Aw.
Remember?
Yes.
McDonald Ranch.
Ron. Oh, she remembered.
What do you think? I didn't listen?
She listens. You gotta listen.
Ninon, I'm always so happy to be with you.
I love being with you too. She's amazing, absolutely wonderful. I love this woman. I love to have her on my show because it
Yeah.
just breaks things up a little bit and you can be crazy.
I am
Would be
crazy.
We are
I'm
crazy.
always myself with you.
Isn't that nice?
Yes.
All right. How
It
can
is.
they reach you to book you?
Okay.
For all these.
My website.
By the way, I just have to say one thing. She's looking for a guy that has 2 cars.
What about one?
No,
I don't
2
have a
cars.
car. I don't
No,
have a car.
No, 2 cars. One for him and one for her. So
That's
you don't have
right.
to chauffeur him around.
That's right.
Come on, let's get this straight.
No, you know, because my car was totaled in the accident.
Her
So I
car
have
was
no
totaled.
car.
She
Oh,
hasn't got
he's
a
got to
car.
have a car.
She needs a car.
I should have said that first.
The very beginning, she needs a car.
Right.
Or she needs lots of people to give her a ride.
Right,
So
right.
one or the other. She needs lots of chauffeurs, or
Right,
she
right.
needs a car, or she needs a man with 2 cars, one for him and one for her.
But my website is
Yes.
barbarabrighton.com. And I have my schedule on there if you want to see anything. Or go to Facebook and just
The
friend
camera's
me.
right there.
Or just friend me.
I'm just letting you
I'm
know
looking
where
at the
camera-
producer. I'm not even.
Yeah, she's looking at the
For
producer.
somebody that had a talk show, I'm not even looking at the camera. What can I tell you?
I don't know. She just went off track a little bit, but we'll bring her back onto track.
Okay.
Barbara Brighton, you can't forget that name. Absolutely amazing. Thank you for watching Vegas Live with Ninon. And don't forget we have Amigos Cantina.
Right.
Isn't it lovely down here?
Yes, it's lovely.
It's absolutely
I
famous.
smell the
beautiful.
tacos.
And you know what we're doing? We're traveling around different sort of restaurants, different clubs, different things. Whoever's going to have us. Huh?
And feed us. Couldn't they feed us?
Well, you have to pay for it though.
Oh, you do?
What do you mean you do? You have to pay.
Can't we have a taco?
Can I have a talk? Or
Taco, taco.
Oh, I thought you said talk. Okay.
Can we
just
taco?
had-
Can we taco? Forget it. Okay, good.
Don't forget, anybody out there who would love to be on Vegas Live with Ninon, get in touch with Vegas Live with Ninon. And don't forget to go to our website, and don't forget to go to YouTube and go everywhere and subscribe. But without you, nothing happens. So keep tuning in. Enjoy our shows. I hope you like them all. Take care.
She's
we'll be
great.
right back. We got
She's
one more
great.
guest.
I love her.
I love her too. What did you back again to Vegas Live with Ninon. I'm Ninon de Pureza. I'm your host for the next 15-20 minutes, however long Maria allows me to interview this incredible gentleman next to me. I can't look at him because he's got the most gorgeous eyes. And his skin, I look at my skin, look at his skin, and there's something wrong somewhere. I don't know what it is, but there's something definitely wrong. But it could be sort of age-wise or something like that. Anyway, I have Josh Edelman with me.
Thank you.
And I always ask, I don't pre-interview my guests, and people get upset when I don't pre-interview them because they want to brag about everything they do, but it's their seat, they can brag about anything. You can say everything you want. This is your show, not mine.
Okay.
I just say hello. Yours not.
I'll try
No.
my best not to look in your eyes, but it's kind of tough. So.
It is tough, isn't
Yeah.
it? So we'll do it anyway.
And she's making me blush too. So.
We'll do it anyway.
Yeah.
But I understand you're in the Air Force and you're a salsa dancer.
Yes, ma'am.
Well,
that's
these
right.
two don't quite go together, I didn't think.
No, it's
So what happened?
so it's an interesting story. I guess I can.
This is your platform.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
It's a. I'll try to make it as quick as possible.
No,
but
don't
it's-
make it
it's-
quick.
No,
I want to
okay.
know. I
Okay.
want to know the whole story, the whole thing.
Okay.
What is it?
So I'm originally from Milford, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. I'll forgive you for that. That's okay. I
Northeast
thought
part.
it was from England.
Nah.
All right.
Northeast corner of Pennsylvania, small town called Milford. And I used to go to a summer camp in Massachusetts, though. And at the summer camp, there were kids from all over the world, and a lot of Spanish-speaking campers. And I just fell in love with these kids. I made great friends with them, and
Were you all the same age, roughly?
we were, yeah. So we're grouped in our similar ages in the cabin. So I was in a cabin with kids from Spain, Colombia, a mix.
Oh, that's great for a child because then you mix and see other countries or learn about other countries.
Exactly. So I developed a passion for Spanish. I wanted to learn Spanish so I could speak with them because they couldn't speak much English. And so I bought a book when I was 10 years old, and I just started studying Spanish on my own, and I grew up loving the Latin culture. And in my small town of Milford, it's about 90 minutes outside New York City, we had a good amount of Puerto Ricans too. So some of my
Same
friends...
type of language.
Exactly. So I would spend time with them, and I developed a love for the Latin culture, the music, the food, the dancing, and I just grew up studying it. And now I speak Spanish fully, 100%, and I speak it daily with my friends. And
My Spanish goes as far as taco. That's as far as I can go with
Hey,
Spanish.
it's a start.
It's a
but,
start.
hey.
Yeah, it's a good start.
Exactly. So from there, I was accepted into the Air Force. So I'm in the military.
Are you still in the military?
I'm still in the military. I'm a captain in the Air Force.
Oh my
ma'am.
goodness! But you built yourself up to that, didn't you?
I did. So I went to the Air Force Academy in 2013. I knew I wanted to serve. 9/11 was a big impact on our town and on me and our families, and there in Milford, being close to New York City.
But you were very young then.
I was in first grade. Yep. I remember that day clearly.
Wow.
So that was
And you kind of made your mind up then.
exactly at that point, and then also learning about the military and the Air Force in particular. You could travel everywhere in the Air Force.
You wanted to travel.
I wanted to travel, and I wanted to go to these Spanish-speaking countries too. So I said, hey,
What a great way to go.
I can serve, live out my passion being a leader and an officer in the military, and also being able to travel and use my language in Spanish.
What an amazing story this
Yeah.
is. You definitely have a story. Always remember one thing, behind every face there is a story. And it's a different one to the one you might think it is behind that face. I would never have thought you were in the Air Force. So why did you chose the Air Force because you wanted to travel everywhere and
Exactly.
do everything. So what has been the great excitement of traveling? Because you've obviously, where have you been?
I've been so many places, I don't even know where to start. Besides a whole bunch of states within the United States, I've been to Colombia, Panama, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Uruguay, Spain.
What do you think of all these places? Traveling, we hear about them and then you actually are in there and you're actually living, there for a couple of days or 2 days or coming back and forth all the time. What was it?
I love all the countries I've visited. Every country is unique, and they have their own culture and their different ways of saying things. But
Even
once-
in Spanish, don't they?
even in Spanish.
Yeah.
And
even
I'm gonna
the dialects are totally different.
exactly. Every country has their own way of saying words, their dialects, and it just makes it very interesting. And the people are different in each country. They have their different customs, and it's just great meeting them and being in the Air Force, making all these connections all over the world. It's so great having that friendship forever. Because when I go back and return, or even when I go on vacation, I have friends everywhere I can reach out to.
So you tell I'm going to be in town or this or that
Exactly.
and everything, and they love to see you, obviously. So
Exactly.
how hard was it when you went into the Air Force? You had to obviously build yourself up. How hard was that? Because obviously you had a goal, and your goal was to travel and to be that was your goal, to be in many countries as possible.
Exactly.
So how did you do that? Because when you went in, you didn't know anything.
Right. So at the Air Force Academy, we have our structured program for 4 years, and that gets us our degree and then also a commission as an officer. So after our 4 years, we become officers, and we immediately go into
Is
serving.
that automatically you become, after 4 years, you automatically become an officer?
We commission a second lieutenant.
Even when you're not qualified, you still become an officer?
Well, you do. You have to graduate, so you have to complete all 4 years.
So you have to complete all 4 years.
Exactly. And pass your classes and all of your training.
And if you don't get there.
Correct. And it's very difficult to get into the academy. There's West Point, you have the Naval Academy, you have the Air Force Academy, and Coast Guard Academy. So all require an appointment by a senator, a congressman, or the vice president, in addition to all of your test scores and all the different
And
requirements.
so you qualified for all that.
Yes, ma'am, exactly.
Was it a lot of hard work, a lot of study?
It was. The application process was probably the toughest part of the entire thing, trying to get in. I mean, I started junior year doing all of the interviews and the test scores and stuff like that. So.
And so you will prepare yourself, especially for an interview, you will prepare yourself of what you would say and how you would say it and which is my best advantage to get where I need to get, because you've got a goal.
Exactly.
And it was, so you sort of, did you talk to other people how the interview went and what things happened? And
I did. There was a lot of outreach. I did my research and homework beforehand. I tried to get as much insight from people who were at the academy, from officers in the Air Force. I said, hey, this is my goal. I want to get here. What do I got to do? And
they all helped you
exactly
on that process. They probably liked, because of your tenacity of learning and wanting to get where you needed to get, and you would do anything to get there.
Exactly. And that's what they love. They love the discipline and the drive that I had, the passion to go into the academy.
Absolutely. How long have you been in the Air Force?
I've been in since 2013. That's when I entered the Air Force Academy.
2013.
And I commissioned in 2017.
So it's 8 years.
Exactly.
And how many more years are you going to?
So for me, if I continue my career in the military, 20 years until retirement, I have about 5 years as a commissioned officer. So about 15 more until I hit retirement.
Are you going to do that?
I'm not sure yet. We'll see. I've loved.
You know why? Because we're going to get into the salsa dancing in a bit.
So that's the other part of the story.
That's the other part of the story. It's not there yet. So you have to, because I know that the retirement is pretty high on what you receive every month.
Correct.
And it can be anything from, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's 4,500 all the way up to like 20,000 or something a month.
Correct, depending on your rank and time and service.
And I'm not kidding
varies.
you. That's what retirement is. But
It's great. Plus all the benefits of
I
healthcare.
was going to say, you got all those benefits, healthcare and everything else.
Exactly.
And then I think you might not know this, but if you've been in the Air Force and you're married and you've retired and you're divorced, half your pay has to go to the wife. I don't know if you know that.
I'm not sure. I'm not married,
not
I
married.
can't remember, yeah.
But I think that's what it is. So, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
So the wife always gets half, apparently. So that's why you never see anybody in the Air Force or colonels or anybody like this, lieutenants. They never divorce because they don't want to give half up. It's just a little trivia thing out there that I found out about.
I'll keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind. I remember I was on that show with, I forget her name, but she told me something about. So make sure you love her.
Exactly.
Okay, stay with her. Okay, so that is your goal.
Correct.
Maybe.
So
maybe.
in the Air Force, I have 1 more year left on my contract. So when we commission, depending on the career field we go into,
When you say commission, means signed up for.
become an officer.
So, officer.
So
yes.
we put on our rank. We're officers now. So that is considered your commission.
Yes.
Versus a traditional enlisted member who signs up to join an
10
officer.
years, 5 years, 4 years.
Exactly. We're commissioned officers, and so I owed a 5-year commitment after graduating from the academy because I received my degree. That's paid for by the Air Force.
By the Air
of
Force,
course,
so you
but I
had to
owed-
stay there 5
Exactly.
years for that. Yes.
And
a
I
lot
co-
of people do that, though, don't they? To get their degree in their academy and everything, they go into one of the military things, which is a great idea. Anybody out there can go in, and it's not free because you have to do that time.
Right.
But I think it's pretty tough, but it doesn't cost you anything.
Right.
And you get paid every month or probably minimal wage.
Twice a month. Yep.
Twice a month.
Yep.
So we've learned a lot about the Air Force, about the forces, because they're not as easy as everybody thinks they are they? Was
No.
it easy for you?
No, the academy was very tough, and then since then I've been very grateful for everything I've done in the Air Force and the travel opportunities, as I was saying, the people I've met and the people I've worked with and the places I've been to. It's been an incredible journey so far.
Was it what you thought it would be?
It's been more. It's been more.
So they gave more.
Yeah.
They gave more to you. But it's
So-
what you put in, like anything.
Exactly. I've always been the positive, optimistic person. So whatever situation comes up, I've always made the best out of it.
That's-
Whether it's I've been to Afghanistan or not the best of places, I've always had a great time with the people I've been with, and that's what has made the journey so special.
Now, Josh is not exactly wearing a Air Force uniform. So I presume what he's wearing is more on the salsa side.
Correct.
It looks more of the dancing and salsa thing going on. So let's change tracks.
Okay, yep.
Or change Air Forces. I don't know what we're doing, but we're going to be da 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 da.
So it does connect to the Air Force a bit.
Oh, it does.
So
Oh,
I was
cool.
in Panama in 2015 with the Air Force,
Okay.
and I was there for a language course. We were there to train in Spanish. And we went out one night to take a salsa class. It was me and a couple other folks, and it was more of a joke, like, hey, let's go do a salsa class. I had no expectation, but I enjoyed it. And I was like, man, this is fun. And we went out that night to a salsa club in Panama, Panama City, and I saw everyone dancing. I saw beautiful women everywhere.
You saw the beautiful women
I saw the
first.
beautiful women, yeah.
Why not?
I saw everybody dancing. I said, wow, this is different than a normal nightclub.
It's not what I thought it would be.
Right. It's people dancing, music, everyone's sweating, having a good time. And I said, I got
They're
to get
drinking
into
what,
this.
tequilas?
They're drinking water. They're dancing so much. They're drinking water. They're so
Oh, they're
tired.
drinking water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they're drinking tequilas.
We'll get to that.
So I got back home. I was in Colorado Springs, and I said, I'm gonna start taking salsa classes.
Oh, it got to you that night.
It got to me, and so I started taking classes here and there. And when I went to the clubs, I loved it. I was meeting beautiful women. I was having a great time.
These beautiful women keep coming up.
They do. So there was a trend going on. So I said, hey, I'm dancing all night long, meeting some great people. And so it just picked up, and it became a passion of mine, along with my passion for the Latin culture, the language, the traveling. And salsa dancing is everywhere. Every city has salsa
Every
dancing.
city does. I've done salsa dancing. I'm not saying I'm one of the greatest, but I love dancing and I love moving,
We'll have
so
to
I'm
dance.
fine. Yeah,
We'll have to go dancing one night.
yeah, let's do it. And he's asked me like with those eyes and that face, and I'm trying to look the other way, and now he wants me to go dancing with him. I won.
We're gonna go out. We're gonna go out.
We're going to go out. Ooh, salsa. Okay, and tequilas?
And tequila. You like
Okay.
tequila? I love tequila too.
I do.
Okay.
Oh. Okay, let's continue with this
Okay.
salsa. Let's get
So
back to...
this passion of mine continued. I traveled. I was stationed in South Carolina, Texas, and I kept dancing salsa, and I grew and grew.
So you found the salsa place. Every place you went, you found where you could
Exactly.
dance.
And it's a small community, but it's so connected and so it's just such a great family environment too.
Of course.
We switch
and
partners.
they love to dance. They love, the Spanish love to dance. They love the colors. They love all this stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a very seductive activity, but it's respectful. at the same-
Seductive
Yeah,
activity.
seductive activity. But I'll say it's respectful. So like it's sexy and fun, but we're respectful, and we
Yes.
switch partners. Whether you're married, boyfriend, girlfriend, it's all such a family environment. But it's just
But it's more of dancing together,
Enjoying
rather
the
than
music.
two people dancing. It's everybody dances because I know they change partners or they go all together and dance and everything
Right.
else. And it becomes kind of a family or a neighborhood affair.
Exactly.
That no one's afraid of anybody or dancing with. It sounds very much like Europe. We're like the same way in Europe, same way.
and that was the icing on the cake for me with the Latin culture. I said, this is something I love. I love the culture, the music.
But you could also talk to them because
I speak Spanish, so
he
worked
had
out.
it made. You were up apart and you had it made. You had all this worked out, didn't you?
It all
Or
worked
whether
out,
you
yeah.
didn't or not, it worked out.
Yep. So from there, I got deployed in Afghanistan in 2019. And in Afghanistan, we have tents.
Oh, you were in Afghanistan.
I was. And so sometimes the morale is low. It's tough. We're busy, a lot of stuff going on. But there was a tent that had country night. They had a country themed night on Wednesday nights where people would come together and dance country or two-step.
To relieve the
Exactly.
anticipation of what's going on the next day.
Exactly. So I said, let me start a Latin night and do salsa. So on Thursday nights, I started up a salsa tent in Afghanistan. And this,
Of all places in Afghanistan, this is amazing. You could have done it in Colorado or somewhere, but
I know. And so a lot of people came out. We had a great time. And I was doing some videos of us dancing. And I was practicing with a friend. She was a major at the time. And we were practicing doing dances and teaching the class. And one video got out and went viral. It was, the military dancing salsa, people coming together, enjoying the time during, the tough times.
the tough times, having a moment.
Exactly.
Having a moment in time of dancing and being together and actually communicating together rather than fighting against each other. because that's what it was.
And it was a special moment. The friends I made, I'll never forget. We keep in touch to this
You
day.
keep in touch as well. Are you able to keep in touch with them in Afghanistan? Because I know there's these big problems going on. You must have, when we had this big evacuation, your heart must have been pounding.
I had a lot of friends out there helping
Yeah.
out because I had returned before then, but
Yeah.
a lot of friends were still there in the evacuation and doing some great things. So it was.
In your realm and who you knew, are they all okay? Are they
Everyone's
back?
okay.
Everybody's okay.
Thank God, everyone's okay.
And how do you feel about Afghanistan? The people, the few, people left there.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a sad situation.
It is.
I mean, no matter
Whichever
what
way you look at it.
whatever way you look at it, it
It's
was
sad
never
for
going
the
to be sad.
Afghanistans and sad for the Americans, sad for everybody in a whole.
And I met some great Afghanis when I was there. Even some came to take the salsa class.
Come on, years ago, Afghanistan was one of the most famous places to go to on a vacation. It was one of the most beautiful places to go to. Now look at it. Okay, so now we're back in Vegas doing the salsa.
So after Afghanistan, I got stationed here in Las Vegas, and I had no idea I was going to be stationed in Las Vegas. No idea.
Was that a good surprise?
It was a good surprise, and I said, "Wow, this is awesome."
This is
There's
it.
a lot of salsa dancing, a lot of entertainment. It's the entertainment capital
He
of the world.
died and got to heaven.
Yeah. So I came here and I got right into the dance scene.
I'm sure you did. No stops in your way.
And it's been a great experience so far, and I'm teaching classes.
I was going to say, do you teach a class? Is there any special clubs that we can publicize that people can go to do the salsa dancing? Any special ones?
So there's several different studios in town. I don't teach at a studio, but I teach at Park MGM on Thursday nights. It's a free salsa class.
Oh, great.
Salsa from 9:30 to about 10:15, 10:30 at night every
And
Thursday.
you said that's at the MGM?
Park MGM at Mama
Park.
Rabbit.
Park MGM.
At Mama Rabbit, the bar right in there.
At the bar. And that is, we're talking about the hotel MGM.
Park MGM.
Yeah,
it's
Park
on the
MGM.
sea-
Because
Correct.
I don't want you to think it's like a little club. This is actually the hotel.
Correct,
It's
yeah.
right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Tropicana.
Correct.
Am I right? Got my geography, right? I think. And so they can go there and it's for free.
Free class, I teach it.
Oh, I'm going to meet you there.
absolutely.
I'm definitely going to meet you there. And I'm going to, oh, wait a minute. Can't leave Maria out. Maria, she wants to come as well. And I'm sure everybody else in here is going to start salsa. See what you started?
Hey, we're gonna get everyone out.
Yeah, get everybody out there. That's amazing. So how can anybody reach you? Not obviously for the Air Force, but also for the Air Force, because there might be some young people out there who would like to enroll for the Air Force, and maybe you could help them a little bit of, what they do and what they don't do, and how they can get in there and achieve what you achieved, and also salsa dancing. So how can anybody reach you?
So I'm known as Salsa Josh on social media. So
Salsa Josh.
Salsa Josh. If you look me up on Instagram, YouTube, Salsa Josh. And Instagram, it's Salsa_Josh. It's the first one that pops up. Facebook, Salsa Josh. And that's what my nickname. Sometimes people call me SJ.
SJ.
I know you mentioned J.
Yes.
SJ or Salsa Josh.
Salsa Josh. Okay, I love the Salsa Josh part. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So up until the tender ages, because I know you're quite young, but we're not going to go into that because then that'll make. Well, we just don't go into that. No, don't go there. But an amazing guy, but he has an experience that a lot of you young people out there can still do because he did it. But what he did, he had this vision of what he wanted, right? And you did it, but you worked hard for it. You worked for it. Now, your mum and dad, your mother and father have got to be very proud of you because I don't know about the salsa part, but they've got to be very proud of you in the Air Force.
They are.
Yeah. What about the salsa part?
They love it too.
Oh,
they're
okay,
big. They're my biggest supporters and followers, and they love all my videos.
They love
and
everything. And where do they live?
they live in Delaware now.
In Delaware. Okay.
Yep. So they moved down to Delaware, kind of outside of Rehoboth Beach, Bethany Beach,
Okay.
in a nice retirement community. My dad's a big golfer. He's golfing. They're doing great.
If you could give a message out there to the younger generation of what you've accomplished to the young people.
Well, I think like you say all the time, pursue your passion. I had no idea that salsa dancing was going to become a passion of mine. And so my recommendation too is to try everything. Try all these different activities. You never know when you're going to find something that you love and can change your life forever. Salsa dancing changed my life absolutely, from the people I've met, the places I've been able to travel to, and the community that I've been able to build, and the people I've met. That would be my biggest recommendation, is try everything, find your passion, and pursue it 100%.
But he's very stable with being in the Air Force, so that's a very stable place to be. It's something he can be in the next 20 years and then get a great retirement. But he has a choice you have a choice of
Right.
what you would like to
Right.
do. That's a great position to be in. So any young person out there, because I'm 100% for the younger generation, if ever I can help any of the young people out there, I will do so. So don't forget to get in touch with me. Any young people out there that would like to be on Vegas Live with Ninon, get in touch with Vegas Live with Ninon, and also go to YouTube, subscribe, do all the above and everything else. You have been amazing. You've been a great inspiration
Thank you.
for what you can do out there and what you can achieve. And this is not the entertainment business, the Air Force, but he turned it into the entertainment business with the salsa dancing at the MGM from 9 to 9:15. So you can go there. What was the room again?
Park MGM Mama Rabbit.
Mama Rabbit.
Mama Rabbit. It's the bar.
It's a bar. Just go there and you can salsa all the time you want. Thank you for watching Vegas Live with Ninon. I will be back with my next guest. Take care. Ready? Smile, girls. Camera's on. Welcome back to Vegas Live with Ninon. I thought I had finished, but I hadn't. Two absolutely gorgeous women. I'm not quite sure what they all do. Don't pre-interview, so I really don't know. I did get one thing out of them, that they do sing. So I don't know if it's in a band or themselves. I don't know. But this is Danielle, and this is Tania. And I am Ninon, and oh no, there's nobody there. Anyway, and you know where we are, Amigos. We're Amigos Taco Cantina, and it's a beautiful restaurant. We're on the corner of Pico, and I think Russell. That's where we are. Absolutely fine, but it is always busy here. They're setting up a table right here for looks like 100 people, but it's not. It's probably for about 20 people. So. Lots of things are happening. In the meantime, Vegas Live with Ninon is on a run. I'm over these two ladies. Danielle, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm awesome. Awesome. So what do you do, Danielle?
I'm an actress.
You're an actress.
Yes.
I can see why she's an actress.
Oh, okay.
And Tania, what do you do?
The same, yeah.
You're an actress, but they're both different. They both got different looks, so they don't compete with each other, which is cool, which is nice.
Absolutely not.
Are you with a kind of an agent, or what do you get it on your own? Or look at her skin, isn't that gorgeous?
Fenty Beauty. I don't have representation. I'm not sure, do you have representation? But we do study with Dean Kraling at DK acting class. We study the Milton Katselis technique. We study,
We study scene study. It's like based on scene study. And
What study is that?
Scene study.
Scene study. Oh,
Yes.
okay. Yeah, okay.
And we also do on-screen camera technique
Yes.
and audition techniques, all that good stuff.
Is it hard to do, or are you finding it quite easy?
It's
You're
definitely-
more of the funny. You're more of the smiley one. You're more of a serious one.
yeah, maybe, I don't know.
That's what I perceive. So how are you enjoying it? Is it to your expectations of what it is?
I definitely enjoy it, but it's definitely really hard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's difficult.
What kind of part is hard? Acting that part of the other person? Getting into character is called, I think.
Getting into character, keeping the character, and just,
keeping that
character. Just staying evaluated and true to the story, just analyzing the script, all that stuff.
Is it harder than what you actually thought?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. Because it sounds so simple when you are explaining it, but it's like you have to get into the mind of other people. You can't judge the characters. For me, I'm kind of fresh to this, but I've always been a performer personally. But diving into this, I was like, wow, this is much more. It's psychology as well.
It's funny because we see films and we see everybody out there and we see them acting the part. We look how easy I can be that. I could do that better than them. You know, that's what we think. And so, whoops.
So you do it, and you're like, I'm a little
nervous
stiff.
about this whole thing.
Yeah,
Who am I
off.
supposed to be? You know, because you could be anything. You're both very young. You could be teachers. You could be students. You could be anything. So, what do you see yourself playing?
Oh, that's a good question. I see myself playing, on a sitcom.
Okay, yeah. Do you want to be a little bit on the funny side, a little bit laughing? Yeah, I can
That'd
see
be
that.
fun,
Yeah, I can see that. Because that's what you kind of present.
Yeah.
I can see you walking into an audition. Hi, everybody. Right now, you would walk in a little bit more serious, like Now, what am I supposed to do, and how am I supposed to do this?
Yeah.
You'd be nervous about it. A
No,
little bit.
no.
Not nervous, but you'd be like anxious of, how am I going to play this part?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
All the way up until you get to do something, it's like nerve-wracking. But once you do it, it's like you can't go back.
No.
Once you're up there, you're going. You know?
Well, once you open that door and you walk in, that's who. Actually, the producers, or whoever the talent directors, and as soon as you walk in that room, they can tell whether they want you or not.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Regardless of the lines, regardless of everything, they can tell immediately when you walk into that room. I remember I was doing a commercial in Los Angeles, and I walked in the room. That's her. And I thought, I haven't done anything yet, and I didn't have to because that's what they wanted. So, which is great, but sometimes you have to go through the audition and everything. When you go into an audition, how do you feel? Do you rehearse your lines? Do you rehearse it with somebody else? How do you do that audition?
So for me personally, since COVID, because I started doing all of this during COVID, I haven't had any in-person auditions, but preparing for an audition or a self-tape has been that's much harder than I thought it would be as well. I remember my first one, I was like, oh, this is terrible. I'm not getting this part, but it's because it's so much that goes into it. It's like having a small production to present in a small
Whatever it
time.
is, yeah. Whether it's a small production or a big production, it's going to get you somewhere, and you have to kind of do it. What were you doing, both of you? What were you doing before this? Before you got the fever of acting?
Well, I was in school for nursing, and I absolutely hated it.
I
dropped out.
You copped out of that one, right?
Yes, I dropped out. I moved over here.
Why did you drop out? Was it the sight of blood, or was it the hours, or what just...
It wasn't the sight of blood. I actually do like the medical field and learning about health sciences, but it was just, it's a lot of work to put into it, and I was not passionate about it.
No,
yeah.
no.
If I were to become a nurse, I feel like I would suffer from compassion fatigue. Yeah, and I didn't want that. It's something that you have to be really passionate about.
Yeah, I think so. It's a kind of a dream. It's your dream, but sometimes you have to do something you really don't want to do, but you're very good at it to get to the next level. So then you can so at least you've got money coming in, or you've got a job coming in, or you've got something coming in, and that can take you to the next level, and then you can sort of do it, I know there's a lot of jobs in Vegas, which is waitresses or working in a hotel, that they can actually count their own hours, so they're able to get to an audition. Because the audition thing, if you can't get to the audition, you can't do the job.
Yeah,
so you've got to be able to have short notice. Now, what were you doing before you decided to be an actress?
So like I said, I was doing some performing around the city. I do have a day job. I'm a mom of one, and
You're a mother? You have a child?
I have an 8-year-old son.
Wow, I would never have thought that. Okay. So that's a big consideration.
Yeah, and I did theater just a little bit in high school, but my mom influenced me to make music a little bit growing up, so that's what I pursued once I graduated high school. And I performed all over the city, at Brooklyn Bowl, the Joint when it was at the Hard Rock.
So you've done quite a lot
yeah.
out there. So you should not be shy walking into an audition room.
Yeah, see, that's what, but it's like I said, it's nerve-wracking before you go, be preparing the thinking, but then once you're in it, it's just a whole different story.
And it's easier. Easier than you think. Yeah, because normally the people are very nice, because they like to relax you, because if they relax you for good, it's like, and this is a little tip for you, that when you do get a part, and you might not do it to exactly what the producer wants or how they do it. They don't say, well, that wasn't any good. They will never say that. They will always turn around and say, well, let's try it at a different angle, or let's try it in a different way, or let's do it this way instead of that way, because they don't want to upset their actors. They want to keep their actors up and sort of, with that energy and everything. So they never say you're bad. So you never know whether you're bad or good, except for the take they choose, which could be the first one, it could be the last one. It depends, So where do you both of you think you're going now? Because you both don't have agents, you don't have managers, and you don't have agents. So I don't know, how do you get work?
So I go on Actors Access. It's very helpful when you have no agent.
Okay.
So they basically post casting calls, and you are able to submit your headshots, any reel footage you have, and these casting directors, they're able to see your auditions, and they reach out to you if they want you.
That's easy.
Yeah.
That was never like, when I did it was never like that. I had to have my bag and my thing and my this, and then walk in and had to say all these lines and all this stuff, and no, don't want you.
And it is much different now, especially after the pandemic, because everything is through video now. It changed the game for a lot of people.
Though.
Yeah, absolutely.
So your nervous system is now working normally.
You're not
Rather
overwhelmed.
get into this thing. And you see all these people and all these things.
Not sweating.
Yeah, I know, the anxiety attacks and all that stuff. Because that's what happens. I mean, that is true to life. Isn't it true to life?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So what part, you've obviously had an actor or somebody in mind that you kind of want to follow and you want to be like and has inspired you to be where you want. What are either one of you? Who's been that person?
For me, I mean, it's so many people, so many amazing actors and actresses out there. Personally, I love Denzel Washington, and I love Halle Berry. Just the
Halle Berry. I met
authenticity,
Halle
you
Berry.
know.
She's the sweetest heart.
Yeah,
Halle Berry
I
in
would
person.
imagine.
Halle Berry in person, you are adorable. Absolutely adorable. I met her in Los Angeles with Albie Shaw.
Ooh.
Yes, Albie Shaw's a very, very good friend. Hi, Albie. Mwah. Albie's a very, very good friend of mine. Been a friend of mine for years. Yeah, very good friend of mine. Yeah, oh yeah. But anyway, continue your story, not mine.
Yeah, that's really, it's really Viola Davis, of course. There's just so many people out there. Even some of the newer people.
And
like,
they've given you the inspiration.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, do you watch them to see that you can go through that guideline of how they acted and what they did?
For like watching them, their style of acting is very authentic, very
Yes.
raw, very vulnerable. They're willing to like.
Well, that's what
give
you have to
their
do.
all.
That's what you
Exactly.
have to do. You have to give your all.
And they take it to another level. So just
Yes.
watching that, I'm like, I want to be able to ugly cry and like really feel
To
that.
suddenly cry. Yeah, you've got to do all those crazy things. You've got to be happy, and then you've got to be sad, and then you've got to do this. It's crazy. What about you?
I love actors like Joaquin Phoenix. He's excellent. Sarah Paulson. I love Angela Bassett.
Oh, Angela, I worked
my
on a film with
goodness.
Angela Bassett.
Really?
Yeah,
That
in
is
Los
so
Angeles. I
cool.
can't remember the name of the film now, but I did. She's lovely.
Yeah, oh my goodness,
She's such a
amazing.
dedicated actress. Oh my God, this woman is so dedicated to what she does. She's just lovely. So you both mentioned people I know. But I'm not doing that anymore. Did my bit. Did my thing. So Angela Bassett, all those sort of people.
Yes, I love them. They really inspired me to just go for it. I mean, they're just so good at what they do. It just inspires you to want to do
Absolutely.
better.
Now, what parts have you played so far? Have you played any parts yet?
Yes, I have actually. I'm in a movie called Livia's House. It's in post-production, and yeah, we're raising money for post-production.
And what part did you play in the movie?
I play Helen.
And what does Helen do?
Yes. I'm the best friend of Tara Manning, and she's just so supportive of Tara, even when she makes stupid mistakes. I won't say any more.
To give the movie away, and then you won't want to
Yes.
see it. Absolutely. Your experience was this your first movie or second?
It was my second
second movie, so you felt a little bit more comfortable doing the second movie because
Yes.
you already had the experience of the layout of
Right.
what a movie is and what's put in it and everything else. So you felt a little bit more comfortable.
I did.
So now you're ready for your third one. It's funny, it's a process, and you do the first one, you're like, oh, what's going to go? Because you don't know. And then the second one is much easier, and the third one, and then suddenly you get into it and you start feeling you become part of it.
Yes.
Now, what about you? What have you done?
For me,
Well, you've done a lot of other stuff, so she's
yeah. So
quite a
I
performer.
make like neo soul, so I perform with a live band for the most part. But I have.
Do you
so,
sing in the band?
Yes. So I sing. I do spoken word as well, and
Spoken word, by the way, is poetry.
yes.
Just so everybody knows. Yeah.
And so with DK acting classes, we have our own production company. It's
You have your own
consistent-
production company?
No, so our class.
Oh, your
yeah,
class,
so
yes.
it consists of all of the students because it's called Diverse Voices, and so we've put on a few showcases. One of the last showcases we did in Boulder City, I was able to sing a song from the musical In the Heights.
So you actually bring in your acting talent and your singing talent. So you've kind of, what about you? Do the same? You sing?
Yeah, I do.
So you both can bring in another talent. Any other talents you have? I'm trying to get everybody to know who you are out there. So you've got your singing, you've got your acting, both of you, and what else?
That's really about it.
I'm a photographer.
You're a photographer. There you are. You see. Now, do you think you could actually help behind the scenes in the?
I think
'Cause
definitely.
a lot of these productions, sometimes I don't know if they do this in a smaller film. They will ask you, since you're there as an actor, can you do this for us, which is a behind the scenes thing. Are you willing to do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It gives you the
It'd be so
experience.
fun.
Yeah.
I just want you
Yes.
all to know
Oh
out
my
there
goodness,
that
I like-
because they do that a lot. I hadn't heard of that in my day when I did it, but I heard a lot of that here in Vegas when they've got especially a small film doing, and then some of the actors they'll say, "Do you mind if can you get this for me, or can you do that, or can you hold the camera, or can you shoot this, or like you could come on and say, well, I can do the photography for
Yeah.
you, and you help them do that. So you're there anyway, getting paid, so they like that. So that's. See, this is what these young actors do now. They improvise they help the actual filming of it.
Yeah.
Can you give me a couple of lines?
Lines.
Singing.
Singing. Let's see. So my favorite artist is Erykah Badu, of course. So.
Go ahead. Give me something.
Bag lady, you gon' hurt your back, dragging all them bags like that.
I got a couple of lines. I love it. I love it. I love it. Absolutely amazing. How can anybody reach you?
Oh, okay. So you can.
I don't mean for a date. I mean for work. I know they love to date.
Yes.
No.
So you can find me at Danielle.Octavian at Instagram. And Octavian is OCTAVIEN.
Okay, and for you?
And for me, you can find me on Instagram. My personal Instagram is FKA Luna Moon, like formerly known as Luna Moon.
Awesome. And that's just those only two places. Are you on Facebook or anywhere like that?
So on Instagram, our acting class, you'll be able to see any productions that we put
What's
on.
the acting
It's,
class? Let's give a push to your acting class.
DK Acting Class on Instagram, Dean Kraling on Instagram.
Awesome.
Yeah, we also have a production coming up.
Yeah,
What's the
we have-
production company? Oh, wait a minute. What's this? Oh, this. There you are.
Yes, we're
put
having
that
a
there.
show.
I'm supposed to have them all on. There's about 10 of them, but I don't know what happens to the other 8. But anyway, we got.
On Saturday at 7 p.m. Tickets are free. You can register at our Eventbrite, diversevoicesfcg.eventbrite.com. And yes, it's an amazing show. We have so many great
So
actors.
this is a show this Saturday.
Yes, this
Okay.
Saturday.
And what time does it start?
7 p.m.
7 p.m. And how much are the tickets?
They're free.
And
Ooh, this makes it
Yes.
more encouraging, doesn't it? For free. That's amazing. But you get to see them. You're both performing.
yes, along with the other ladies that were supposed to accompany us.
Yes.
But, of course, life.
One time, life is life.
Yes.
They've got babies to look after, or they've got
Absolutely.
jobs, and they, have to earn a living. I mean, come on, we all have to make some money somewhere.
Exactly.
But at least we have the two of you, which is great. So, and where was that again?
It's going to be at the Fraternal Order of Eagles. That's on 1601 Washington Avenue.
Okay, wonderful. So don't forget to turn up there. It is for free. It starts at 7, and you're going to see these two beautiful ladies, as well as how many others are there? 6 others? Was there 8 of you?
There's
7 others?
8 others.
8
8
others.
others.
That's
So
a lot of
there's
us.
10 altogether. I'm losing count here. So there's 10 altogether. So it should be a fabulous show. What is the premise of the show? Is it singing? Is it just what? Is it kind of a? What is it?
It's basically it's a show full of poetry and music. It's based on Entazaki's For Colored Girls. And yeah, it's gonna have select poems of it, and we're gonna be singing in the show. And everyone has worked so hard.
Very hard, yes.
How long
We
has it
rehearsed
taken
a
to
lot.
put it together? 6 months, a year?
Some of us have been working on it much longer. Like some of the girls, about a year. A couple of us, a couple months, and a couple of us, a couple weeks. So we've
Okay,
all
so
been
this is
putting in
how
lot
a
of work.
show works, because this is what happens, but it has to have the basis. The basis is usually at the beginning, which is a year ago, so don't think you can just come on and put a show together, you can't. So this has been sort of, and then a lot of the people that were in the show originally, they've gone or something else has happened, so that's why she was saying that sometimes they only get 2 weeks. And that's because they do know, your profession, you know what you're going to come in and do, so you both know what's going on and what's happening, so that's not a problem. So know what you're doing, and then you'll get the job, which I know is for free, and you're probably not getting paid, but also it's experience of being on stage and also coordinating with all these other people. A lot of people to coordinate with, and also to work with them together. And you have to all
Exactly.
work together. I mean, you've got to like them all, you've got to help them all, all be together. Thank you for watching Vegas Live with Ninon, and of course they've been absolutely amazing. Love them, absolutely wonderful. And obviously the above, go to Vegas Live with Ninon, go to YouTube. And don't forget social media shows, that's who produces my show. Maria Pureza is my producer, and everybody else out there. I thank all of you, because if it wasn't any of you out there, nothing would happen, and I wouldn't have a show. So thank you. Take care. See you next week.